Welcome to the EST Hangout.
This is the EST Hangout, and today's guests are...
It is Oilers game day. This is the EST Hangout presented by White Claw. Iwanyk, Tom Gazzola with you here. It is an EST crew day. As YouTube Trev with us for a period of time, and then Zacticum will also join us. YouTube Trev with the lemon White Claw.
Let's go.
I've got the watermelon White Claw.
Let's go.
Tommy's got his Americano.
So,
Nice.
let's go.
Cheers to Trev.
Cheers, buddy.
For us,
Cheers. Cheers,
We're
Tommy.
really enjoying ourselves
Yeah.
today.
You got the watermelon.
no
That's
time.
good stuff.
Yeah, it's
I've
top
got
three.
It's
I
not
think
bad.
for me. I think it's top three.
Very satisfying. I do.
Lime, watermelon, and I think maybe raspberry.
I haven't had the raspberry
yes,
one.
I do
delicious.
have a long
Yeah.
day.
Delicious.
You do too, actually, but you get a nap.
Yep. I think I might have a brief nap
Are you
after.
staying here all day?
I don't think so. I think I'm gonna head home after this, have a quick little nap, and then come back for the meeting, and then I'm staying here from 1 till whenever the game is. So yeah, it's a long day, but I don't mind it. It'll be fun. It's always fun.
All right.
And you're at West Edmonton Mall today.
I'm out Hudson's West Edmonton Mall.
The
Bourbon Street.
is there another? Is it the only Hudson West Ed this month, or do we have two this
No,
month? at
we've
West Ed?
got to cram like 4 in before the end
But
of the
there's
regular
4,
season.
yeah. And I know, like, we have our listener watch party. I think it's the last one. I got to pull this up to
I
go
have
through
it. Do
the
you want me
list.
to look at it and list it off?
Whoever
Because
could get there
I'm
first.
very excited.
EST on location. Here we go.
And shame on Dusty for suggesting that somebody come up to me post game while inebriated.
It's so rude when he does
while
that.
I'm trying to talk and go, and do not ask me if I'm the DJ. Clearly I'm not.
Dusty, no.
Do I look like the DJ?
Do I look like the damn DJ?
I'm not going into COO mode right now. I'm holding that off. No, Dusty can't do that. Okay. Today, West Ed. Friday, you're at White.
Yes.
Then on the 10th, you're at West Ed again.
Yes.
And then the 18th, White, which is another listener party.
The last listener party, actually, the two that we've had have been really fun. Really fun. I was just gassed on that Saturday where we did the one on White Ave. And while everyone was gassed, there were a few nasties who were gunned. And it turned out to be a good night.
I got to see Luciano, which is Hernan Salas' nephew.
He was having a great time.
Him.
Yeah.
When would have been the last time I saw him? It might have been almost a year. It might have been World Cup 2022.
He came to Beaumont
potentially.
VP.
But I
last
wasn't
week
at
for
Beaumont
us.
VP.
Yeah, no, I know.
So that doesn't really help me here.
You didn't
But no,
see
I
the
think prior to
cuz?
that it was
the
yeah.
Nef?
Actually, but I promised him I'd get him on the hangout because Luciano, again, Hernan Salas with the Elks, formerly with us at TSN. For those that don't know, his nephew loves his soccer too. And I said before Copa America and the Euros start in June, come on and we'll do a soccer preview in the two tournaments.
Perfect.
So we're gonna have a great time with him.
Nice. Yeah, I heard a lot of good things about Luciano.
Good dude.
Apparently,
Great guy.
apparently he was a beauty. Eh?
He was
Or that night, he is a beauty.
He skipped out on a family dinner that he was supposed to go to just
Nice.
to hang out with us more, which was awesome.
And we appreciate that, Luciano. And him and Hernan together, it's like a 1-2 punch.
Yeah, uncle nephew doesn't feel that way.
No.
It feels very cousin type thing.
Yes.
You know?
Because Hernan, even though Hernan, I think, is about 18, 19 years older than Luciano.
It's about there.
Yeah, like Hernan is a young soul.
He is.
And
At
he
times.
loves life. At times, yeah.
Hernan could also be the old soul at times,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
he'll go, "Oh, I'm so old, man.
I'm not doing
I
good,
can't do
Tom,
that
man."
anymore." He plays into the old part sometimes.
Yeah, they're like frickin' frack together. It's adorable.
I need to get Hernan on the hangout again soon.
Yeah, we should. Actually, Brian Cheeseman as well.
Okay, here's my problem with Cheese. I'm calling him out.
And he doesn't respond.
I'm calling him out.
They're watching right now in the
Is
Elks
he?
locker room. They always do.
Okay, Cheese, I'm calling you out on this one. Because twice I've texted him, and he's like, "I'll let you know." And then it's late, and he's like, "I can't do it." Or one time he didn't respond. And it's like, okay, well, and then you text me that he says he wants to come back
Yeah.
on, so I text him. And I get like a week ahead, can you do any of these days? He's like, maybe Friday. And then he can't do Friday. And it's like, okay, well, come on, Cheese.
Him and Rogan Dean together would be amazing.
Here's what if Cheese is listening, he has my number, I guess. We've texted.
We'll be getting a text shortly.
You pick a day between now and the start of elk season, and you text me, and I will make it work.
I saw him last Monday at the 75th anniversary unveiling.
He's a great dude.
Great dude. Whole crew. And he's like, gotta get back on the hangout. I'm like, I know. Iwanyk has talked to you. I've talked to you. He's like, yeah, it's getting busy. I'm like, when's your busy day? He's like, May 2nd. So let's go. Clock
That's
is
when it
ticking.
picks up
Yeah.
for him?
Yeah.
Okay, you have
There's
till
only
May
a few guys
2nd
in
to pick
town
a day.
right now. Yeah.
It's that simple.
So
And
let's
then
go.
grab Rogan and
Cheese.
we'll do that.
Yeah.
I don't know who we're talking about, but I agree.
Head athletic therapist for the Edmonton Elks, Brian Cheeseman,
Nice.
was
We
with
had
the
him
World
on
Junior
with,
team. Yeah.
Dan Barnes. We had him on with.
With Barnesy, yeah.
I should get Barnesy on too again.
Barnesy would be
I
great.
forgot about Barnesy sometimes.
There's a bunch of people we need to get back on here. It was good to get Titch shit yesterday. Like, Titch is funny. He's hilarious.
He was made for Twitter.
Yeah.
And I know he doesn't use it as much anymore. Like a few of us don't use it as much anymore. But I don't know
There's
if
a reason.
you've ever saw Titch's tweets. And
No,
whatnot.
he was on
It was
fuego.
he was like before when it was 140 characters or whatever. It's like he would get his jokes in there,
Nice.
just
Quick.
brilliantly. And he was designed for Twitter.
Yeah.
And during the
was
decade of
designed
darkness
for Twitter.
too,
Brilliant.
it was just perfect. And I think for all Oilers fans, it was that smile that they needed as the Oilers were about to lose 8-2 in this hockey game or something. Was
Nice.
there's the Titch tweet that makes me smile, or one of 5 that has made me smile tonight.
A couple of his go-tos that were always great because his timing was immaculate and he didn't overuse them was Hork usually buries those. And they're going full Oiler.
That's awesome.
Reminder, the keyword for the EST Flyaway. We'll do that just before 10 o'clock right here on the Hangout. Your chance to win a trip to Las Vegas thanks to FlyYG and the LVCVA. For those that missed the breaking news before the morning show ended, Stephon Diggs being traded to the Houston Texans.
Whoa.
Which is... I'm intrigued by that one. Is what the like not more like one, the Texans are building something really nice. What the
Finally.
but what the Bills are doing, like,
Is Norman a combine happy today? Probably. He's a Texans guy, or is he just an Astros guy?
is Tyler Remchuk and Lieutenant Eric happy today?
Oh no. But wasn't there like problems with Stephon Diggs?
There seemed to be over the last couple of years some friction between him and Josh Allen, or some frustration bubbling.
But
a little
he's
bit.
so good.
So
Anyway.
he's great, but at some point also you fall off.
Yeah.
And it's not there. The thing we were talking about before we went on the air, I guess I just want to go into. We have a staff meeting today.
Yeah.
You said you love our staff meetings.
I quite enjoy them.
I think everyone enjoys them. They're a lot of fun.
I used to hate staff meetings at Oilers TV, and then we never really had them at
Yes, we did.
12:60.
I
just
maybe
didn't get
before
it.
you. We did them once a month.
Oh.
And I had to design like the agenda and stuff for it and stuff. But then after there was a meeting for Bear, Virgin, and then I would go as TSN representative, so no one else had to go.
Oh, thank God. That's why you
So
were
I
great.
sat in there
You
on
were
the
perfect.
Saturday, every Thursday, 10:30, whatever. I just started going, and I would fill in everyone what's going on with TSN, and I would sit there and listen to everything else that's going on.
They probably didn't even say anything about us.
And that's why I was there, to say something. So that at some point in the meeting, they'd throw to me and be like, yeah, we're doing this, this, and this. And
Okay,
that's it.
thanks.
I sat in the back. It was great. But no, I did it like, because one time
We were
funny
just
with
like
March
the leftovers.
we
there.
were, but there was a time where Dusty and Eric, they started creating their brackets. They had the Apollo Creed Memorial Tournament
Which
bracket,
won an
the
award.
Summer of George, all of those things. And then not the company, but some people within it were like, we're going to create a bracket that anyone could use and put on their website so we can make it. Because Dusty and Eric used to do just Twitter.
Yeah, I remember
So
those.
like, we'll create this bracket system that we can use and put it up on the website. And our boss told Dusty and Eric they need to be in this meeting because they need to learn about this. And like, this is going to be the biggest waste of time.
Yeah.
And we're just like, and I was like, they don't need to be. They're like, I'm there and stuff. I'm like, no. So the three of us had to go. It was the worst meeting ever. I got to see if I can find the picture somebody took of me and Eric in there, because it was one
You
of those.
have it. You have it on that phone
I
somewhere.
think I know where it is. It was one where they were explaining what a bracket was for starters.
Who's running this meeting? You don't have to name names. Just
Our digital guy.
oh boy. Okay.
And we're just like, we know what a bracket is. And this is with everyone. Like, we understand this bracket. Like, we get it and stuff. And then everything we wanted to do, like, we needed to customize it. We needed to do... They're like, yeah, we can't do that. And like, what are you talking about? Like, that's a bracket.
That is a bracket.
So it was...
Was it the digital guy that just like hid in the corner in that little office that
yes.
nobody ever went
yes.
by?
And we were told he's a genius.
Oh, yes, he was.
Sounds like a genius.
But so, yeah, no, you didn't have to deal with the
They have to
TS
justify
with our meetings
hirings.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't have to deal with our meetings there, so
No, they were. Although we would have like every now and then we'd have like that big one, with everybody, CTV,
No.
Virgin, us, Bear, execs, and those were painful.
I don't have it.
Those were painful. That's okay. I
I
believe
don't have it
you.
on my phone. I go find it.
Eric was brilliant in those meetings.
Well,
he would sit there like
Where's
this.
the suit and tie?
Well, no, so this is not going to work on audio at all. I had my head in my hands, just looking down. Eric's picture, he was so sorry for all those in the audio feed, but he was completely slouched, and he was just like sitting like this.
Yeah, basically parallel with the cushion of the couch.
And that's how he was the whole meeting after.
Yeah.
And Dusty was furious because he's like, this is the biggest waste of my time. I have other things to do. And it was great.
So in the bracket, one team gets eliminated and their name does not continue on to the next bracket. And then below them are the next two teams. And then whoever wins in that one will face the team in the above bracket.
And we couldn't customize it like our own way. And it was just
There's got to be
horrendous.
bracket templates
We couldn't print
out
it.
there.
We couldn't print it for people to fill out. And we're like, that's kind of the key of a bracket.
Yeah.
Somebody needs to have it in their hand and be able to fill it out and guess. So like you can't. And it's like, yeah, it's not printable.
Man, we had
Awesome.
awesome is right.
But-
understatement.
Now, the question is, Corey B. Nasty 43, love the behind the scenes stories. We've got a lot. That's the real stories will come out on they'll come out on the Hangout after dark when we've had quite a few White Claws and we'll
Yeah,
just
is that a
let it
thing?
fly.
Is that a thing?
One day I think we'll have to do it.
Yeah,
Just be
Call it-
on at like 1 o'clock in the
Yeah.
morning.
Yeah.
Hangout
having-
soiree noir.
I'd like
After a
that.
listener party,
Something
a
like
watch
that.
party,
Oh,
come
boy.
here. Just
like-
we're gonna
just
do
vent.
it.
Let's
We're gonna
go.
do it. Let's go.
I
And
like
let loose on all of our stories. Actually, I was with our engineer yesterday for lunch.
Oh.
His name's Trev. And it was great catching up with
That's-
him, and we
good name.
a couple
That-
stories and stuff.
Trev is the one that when Eric and I were about to come out of break and we were told we needed to go to the boardroom, and I asked, hey, this commercial's almost over, and Eric chimed in with, would you like me to add a few more commercials? We were told that's okay. Trevor has it.
Well, Trev's brilliant.
Yeah.
He,
And he didn't
It's a
even look
Trevor
at
thing. I don't know.
It is.
us.
I
We
will
knew we
say-
were done. It was over.
Him and I worked really well together with a lot of things. But there was and I'm having part of the story a little bit wrong, but he found a way to use this software thing in a way that even the people that created it didn't realize it could be used for.
Really?
And he won some awards for it and stuff. And
Nice. Damn.
He's that brilliant.
And he still works there.
He's still,
That's impressive.
He kept getting bumped up.
Good.
Because he was in charge of radio and I was in charge of everyone.
Yeah.
Basically. So he was
Yeah.
brilliant.
Yeah,
this Trevor right here.
That's good.
But the question was coming up, should we stream our meeting without sound? Our staff meeting today.
I don't know.
I think it could be fun.
That's weird.
Just
I feel like just on YouTube, just a one camera shot shooting our table. Like that fish lens that we have in the morning show one.
yeah.
That just shoots our meeting,
There's
but you
going to be
can't
some
hear
lip readers
anything.
in there. The competition's going to want to
fair.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they'll just see us talking.
I'd
But
like
won't
to
know
do-
what we're talking about.
I'd like to exaggerate the hand gestures like a lot.
Just really play
Are
into
you
it.
kidding me? Are you kidding me?
Somebody
get
wears
into heated
gagers.
discussion.
Somebody wears Gager's judge costume.
Yeah.
Dusty and Erica wear their Tales of the North stuff.
Oh, my. That's how we roll.
Oh, that could be good. I like that.
Couple of texts, 780-218-9999. Norm in a combine says, Texans are becoming legit, Tommy. And yes, I'm a Texans and cough, cough. Astros fan. The
And what
Yankees
happened to
kicked
the
our
Astros?
butts.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Norm. I appreciate it.
Chachi on the coast says, EST after dark, post game round one. Oh, boy. If post game round one, it's anything like post game after game one of round one last year, we're all going to need Oil Country to take a chill pill.
Yeah.
I've told you this story, right?
No. Oh, was
you,
it like
you know
the,
this.
Was it
The brawl.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. I heard about that.
Unbelievable. I just, still to this day, we're not even a year from it, but 8-man brawl behind me while we're on the air doing the post game show at a certain location that I love. And Matt Cassian's there. He brought his lovely wife, Mandy, and she's watching it. Cass is like salivating because he wants to go and beat his ass. And
It's just one of those, you just know, like, his wife gets touched just slightly.
Oh.
It's over for
He's
the guys.
ready. He's
For
like-
all of them.
oh yeah,
It's done.
Oh yeah, Cass is just like, and I'm like, what the hell's going on? He's like, look behind you, and I'm looking, trying to talk with my headset on. I'm like, oh my god, tables, chairs flying everywhere. And then Mandy,
trying to keep
she was
cool.
sitting in the table next to us under our broadcast location, and then she's slowly sliding over towards Cass. And as she's doing that, I watch a guy run from left to right behind Cass and Mandy and just sucker a guy right in the jaw. And the guy gets up. And what does he do? He gets the lawnmower out, and they go. And they went up around. They go up a level, and then they smashed into some TVs in the back. And then the best part,
Jeez.
security gets in there, and I'm like, all right, we got to take a break. So I threw to commercial, and it's just Cass is like, I gotta get Mandy out of here. I have to go. I'm like, don't worry, I'll mop up this show. I think I scolded Oil Country for like 5 minutes, but the best part was, I could say, because I watched it, is two cops grabbing these idiots who just went toe to toe at each other by the scruff of their neck, like a couple of kids in the schoolyard in junior high, and the shame that they were walking with. I'm like, it's round one, game one. They lost.
simmer down.
Relax. Why am I watching Oilers fans beat up Oilers fans? Give your head a shake. This was their 4th consecutive year in the postseason, and this is what you're doing? Relax. Like, I fear this.
Do you know what you do this
Oilers
year if
fans
that
are better
happens?
than that.
Do you know what you do this year if that happens?
What?
Because you can't have a commercial break to throw to.
No, I will not have a commercial break to throw to.
You need to grab the camera and film it.
Well, yeah, exactly. Like,
do
this is the
play-by-play.
crap we're
What's
dealing
going on?
with. Yeah.
Do play-by-play.
This is what's happening.
Yeah, I'd like that a lot.
Go
looks
all
like-
in, just broadcast it.
Looks like the one guy is getting the best of him, but we'll see how this plays out.
I'll do the play-by-play of the fight. I don't care. I'm definitely afraid of play-by-play, but I'll do it.
Yeah.
And then it'll
Which is
be
at
our
least
most
makes the
watched
camera
show
look
ever.
fun.
Yeah.
Just be massive.
Oh, he's getting him good now. Oh,
A couple of jarring rights, a stiff uppercut.
Really jump nice and close.
Yeah.
After when they're done, as the police are walking them away, quickly stop for an interview.
Yeah.
Just like 1 second, we need to walk
Joe
off.
Rogan style.
What
He's
is- yeah,
knocked. He's
exactly.
just waking up. What are your thoughts? I don't know where I am.
I don't know where I am.
Why did you do this?
I'll use those cheesy descriptors
Where am I?
that Jack uses when he calls it like a clubbing left.
Yeah, clubbing.
I listen. I'm like, you just get the fromage out of there, Jack.
Yeah.
A
Do you ever tell
chopping
Jack
right.
that?
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah, and he gets mad because he thinks he's the best and he thinks he's perfect, and really he's just a smelly little dude. But he's a dear friend.
And just like that, Jack Michaels will never be on the EST Hangout.
Well,
that's so
OEG
good.
still won't let them, so
Well, we haven't asked in a while, unless
Yeah.
you have.
I continue to ask.
We'll get Mooner on one day.
We'll get Mooner.
We'll get
on.
Mooner
He's
on
our
here.
preference. Actually,
that's so
we've had
good.
Bob on,
Friend of the show.
friend of the show.
Yeah.
Here's the crazy part. He's been on before Mooner, which I
I
never
know.
would have guessed.
I know.
I just love
Mooner doesn't rock the boat at all.
No, but it's just like I
He's
would have
very
never
by the
even
book.
like it's one. I would have never guessed we had Stoff, and to be that soon to already have had Stoff on the show,
that's just
and
great
just
to be
not
on.
get Mooner. Oh, Zacticum says I almost got beat up in Ice District last year during the playoffs. That's because he's wearing a Kings
Yeah,
jersey.
I mean,
That's not the first time he's donned another team's
yeah.
colors.
Now he did
Brilliant,
lose a bet
Zach.
though. for
But
that.
yeah, that was a
bet.
Remember that's
Right.
and then
That's
Zach will be
kinda-
on in a second, or we could get into that. But
Yeah.
he lost the bet, and so he had to wear the jersey, which isn't. That's actually pretty good punishment for fantasy football.
That is a good one.
That is, and that's daring. But him with the Golden Knights hat when we were in Vegas,
was-
going into a really
was
big
pretty-
game. Oilers had 9 days off. There's pent up angst among Oil Country. There's always building angst. Regardless.
A winning streak on the line.
Huge winning streak on the line. Zacticum, this is when we finally started getting you guys on camera more.
Yeah.
And he shows up and I'm looking, I'm like, are you
First
wearing a Golden Knights hat? Like, don't you want our listeners and viewers to like you?
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm wearing a Golden Knights hat, Tommy. I'm like, good luck today. Good luck.
Yeah, no, that was interesting. I felt bad because I was like, he's like, you think this is okay? I'm like, yeah, sure. It'll spark some
Oh, no.
conversation. Yeah, why not? And then apparently, and then everyone was like, you don't do that. And so I was like, I might have led him astray. So I feel bad for that. But he's turned around and it hasn't happened again.
He's learned.
He's crushing it. He's doing
is.
good. So no, that's funny.
Yeah. That was a nish.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lieutenant Eric jumped in the chat in Vegas when we were at Beer House and went, get that hat off.
Smart.
Or get that damn hat
For
off.
your
and
own
make it jump.
safety.
That's so good.
Let's get into our top story of the day, which is brought to you by the Ranch Golf and Country Club, offering premier conditions, top-notch service, unmatched value. They'll be the great choice for your first round of the season. They should be opening up soon. I haven't seen exactly when they're opening up just
Ranch?
yet. Yeah, I haven't seen if they've announced yet. But based on the first, I would guess Masters next weekend, they should probably be open. But keep it locked to their Twitter account or visit them, ranchgolf.com. Oilers, Stars tonight. Some listeners saying during the morning show, must win.
Why?
That is the silliest
Why
thing
is
I've
it a
ever heard in my
must-win?
entire life. If you're a Blues fan, the other game when the Oilers, were taking on the Blues, obviously, like they're on the outside, they're looking in, and that's a must-win for the Blues, right? Yeah, they're not in the playoffs, 3 points out, so yeah, that was a must-win for them. The Oilers are, sitting pretty comfy in a playoff spot. They haven't clinched it, but as I've been following your tweets, which is pretty cool, I like that. I like
Are you
how
doing
you're-
the numbers thing again?
Yeah, I didn't
Yeah.
update after the loss, though. I didn't feel like they
Can
deserved
they
it
clinch
after the loss.
tonight?
that's
Because
fair.
I'm
No.
just going off your thing. Okay,
No,
whatever.
I think the magic number's 4.
No.
4. Okay, so they're
And the Blues
right there.
don't play tonight.
There's a
Yeah,
formula
but like,
there.
It's not a must win. Like in regards to if you're wanting to get like maybe the person for like as far as the division, maybe they forgot to put in that. But no, it's not a must win.
No.
it's a good game, and it should be a good game. It's going to be a good test to see like where they rack up or stand against one of the best in the West. So it's not a must win at all. I give my head a shake there. Like, what are you talking about? But no. It's going to be a good one. I'm looking forward to it, and it's my second favorite team is the Stars.
don't say that.
Jamie Benn was my favorite player growing up. I think he's an absolute beauty, and so I always like it when the Stars play the Oilers.
Okay, I'm learning more about you.
Yeah, and favorite color, green.
That's still
just like
bold,
Maddie.
just in this city.
Yeah, nah,
But you didn't grow up during that era.
and
I guess that's the thing. You didn't grow up during the
I
Stars
didn't
Oilers
realize
era.
that the Stars kind of toyed with the Oilers in the 90s.
It was
Oh, yeah,
it was
it
a
was-
rivalry for 4
Yeah.
years.
5
And,
years
like,
in a row, I
5?
think they played against each other.
Oilers got 1 win. It
Yeah, the first
was a
one.
great one.
Never again.
yeah.
Was it the first one?
That was it.
Not after?
Nope.
I thought it was. I didn't realize it was the first one.
They took one series
Because I remember once they beat
In
Colorado,
01.
lost to Dallas, and then like the next year
They flipped.
It flipped.
Yeah. That was
I
it.
didn't realize it was the first one though.
They didn't win a playoff series till the Stanley Cup run in 05-06. After that, yeah.
Yeah.
Good times.
No, I was.
But yeah, so you wouldn't have been around for that. So
No, and
I
when
gotta give you that.
a lot of like Oilers fans are saying like how much they hate Dallas, and I never understood why. And then now I know why. But yeah, no, I wasn't even a thought then. So yeah,
Sam's not happy with 2 teams. People, EST, please ask better questions in the interviews. No 2-team guys. If you had to take one
is
team,
that a shot at me?
yeah, because you said you don't mind Dallas.
I don't mind. I don't like if the Oilers are like when they went to the finals in 2020. There, I was kind of rooting for him. Like I said, like I like players is kind of what it all boils down to. And Jamie Benn, like he was a stud. I love Tyler Seguin. And growing up, obviously the Oilers, when I was rooting for them and still are, but like they weren't doing the best. And I thought Tyler
You
Seguin
don't have-
that was the best duo in the league, one of them at the time, and so it was just fun. And that's when they just got those new jerseys as well. And then obviously Sean Horkoff went there, and I was like, okay, there's another Oilers tie, or just one Oilers tie. But yeah, like I don't know. There's nothing. It's not like I'm rooting for them.
You're not wearing Dallas Stars jerseys.
No.
What are you wearing right now? What is it?
Hugo Boss.
Oh, very nice.
Not bad. Yeah. I got this in Vegas right before I started here. So yeah, it's a nice shirt.
Attaboy.
I like
Thanks,
Hugo
buddy.
Boss.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I had no idea you go in there. Everything was color coordinated. It's quite cool when you walk in there. They have all their green clothes, their red clothes, yellow. You ever notice
didn't know that.
You ever walk in?
No,
I've actually never noticed
avoid
that.
shopping in stores as much as possible.
Really?
Yeah, I hate it.
But you don't worry about how it's going to
Online.
fit?
Online.
Well, you go to a tailor.
Oh,
Like a shirt. You'll take a shirt to a tailor?
brutal.
Like you buy a t-shirt,
I
you're going to
send
get it
back.
tailored?
Send it back.
Yeah, but sometimes you got to pay to send it back and stuff. And
Find ways around that.
yeah.
Those ones I give away. It's like, yeah, those was a poor decision.
Wow, Mr. Moneybags over here just giving away shirts
No, I
for
wish.
free.
Just I don't tolerate ill-fitting clothing.
So that's why you go to a store. And you could try it on and see how
Yeah,
it
but
looks.
it's a hassle. It's a hassle.
interesting.
There's better ways around it. You find companies where you know your size, and you can rely
That's
on them.
fair.
Stick with it.
And then you go with it.
I like the in-store still.
Yeah, I've
You like the interaction.
No, I hate interactions. I hate dealing with people. I hate talking to people.
You like standing in front of a mirror.
I don't want somebody coming up and asking how I'm doing and go like I always like I'm fine. Just like I want to be left alone. But I like looking at it, feeling it, trying it on or something. But I know I don't like the actual social interactions. I hate it. You should know me by now. I hate people.
But you like individuals.
It's not. Yeah, just leave me alone. That's all I want. Like they should have something like you should have to wear like a pin when you walk in the mall, either like please help me or please don't. And then
Oh, you know what? That's not a bad idea because I get annoyed. You walk in there and you're like, yeah, can I help you with anything? Like, no, I'm good. And like 20 seconds later, you get the same person or a different person asking you the same question.
Yeah.
And then you're in there, and by the time you leave, everyone's in the store. And I guess that's their job. They're just being courteous. But at the same time, it's like I'm good. Everyone else has asked me. I'm fine.
And sometimes I'm just killing time. I'm literally just looking.
Exactly.
Do you want me to tell you I'm just killing time and I'm not buying anything?
I don't mind that. It's not a bad idea.
I'm just looking at jerseys right now. I just want to see what there is. That's it.
Yeah.
Can you leave me alone?
It's not a bad
I
idea,
don't
Matty.
put myself through that.
Yeah.
I can't do it. It's hard.
I can't. I think I was telling you I can't do online. I've ordered 2 things online, and I failed miserably. The one I was like, "Wow, this is a real nice sweater." First time ordering something online, and I'm like, "Yeah, large sounds good." And then I got it like a few days later, and it was a kid's large. I didn't know they only had it in kids, so I'm like, "Are you kidding me?" And then the next thing I ordered, I'm like, "Oh, this is really nice. I like it," because it was an Adidas hat, but apparently the hat that was on display it was gray, and I'm like, "I like this," and I didn't pick the color, and so when I got it, it was white, and it was a little bit different. I know it's not that, but it was the wrong color, and I haven't worn the hat since. So I'm 0-2 for ordering things. So now I have to go in. So it's kind of.
I like it. How do you order a kid's shirt?
I don't know. It was my first time. It said large. I didn't see the.
Were you
You're in the
nervous?
kids section. You're in the kids.
I don't know. It just popped up on my Facebook. I'm like, that's a nice sweater. I didn't even think. I just looked. I'm like. And it only was it was only a kid's sweater, and so I guess I just misread something. But I'm like, yep, this is so me. And then when I got it, I'm like, what the heck is this?
Not me.
Yeah. And then I looked, I'm like, it was kids. So that's the way she goes. So yeah, I have to go in and deal with all the people. It's yeah. It's tough.
Okay.
We're learning stuff about each other.
Yeah. Wow, this is the tree of trust. It is not a must-win game tonight.
Oh, yeah, but hey, guys, you don't make any eye contact. No one will bother you. I never make eye contact, and they always still come up to me.
Yeah, that's a farce.
Just don't go in.
But I want to look at things.
Yeah,
I go to
like in the
Hudson to West
feel.
Ed tonight. I want to be there a little early. I
Yeah,
just
but
want to go look at
are
a
you
couple of
coming out
things
tonight?
No, I'm saying
Oh,
like
you're
I've done
just-
that. I've done that. I've on some of those locations. I've
Yeah.
gone there a little early.
Yeah.
So I've walked them all. I've gone into a couple stores. Place that doesn't annoy me is Chapters. I can go and look at books. No one ever asks
Yeah,
me
nobody
anything.
bugs you
No
at
one
Chapters.
ever talks to me in Chapters. It's wonderful. Every other place,
Yeah.
there's always someone like, "Do you need help?" And I get you're doing your job and it's great, but like I don't want that. So let me give me something that I could put on.
me
and be like,
peace.
just let me be. You're not missing out by talking to me, or not talking to me. In fact, your day is going to be a lot better because you haven't had to interact with me. Because who wants to interact with me?
I'd interact with you,
Cordial
Maddie.
people? I don't know. Normal people?
Oh, that's good.
Anyway.
So a question the boys had quickly. What does McDavid need to do to maybe beat McKinnon for the Hart?
Well, listening to Wyshynski sounds like a lot of people's minds are made up, especially the voters.
Like on it.
I think this 100 assist season that he's going to have, which is amazing because only 3 other players, 3 of the best of all time, are the only ones to do it. And people and voters, our peers, will look around and be like, well, it's just McDavid, and we can give it to him every year. Right now, he's in his wheelhouse. He's in the prime of his career. He legitimately could win the Hart and Ted Lindsay every single year. He's got this window right now where he's in it. Gretzky was doing it back in the day. And he's doing things that haven't been done. Like, if Austin Matthews gets to 70 goals, that's amazing. That is fantastic. Dusty listed off all the guys that did it yesterday on 2 guys and a goalie. And there's some amazing names in there, including Bernie Nichols, who was a very, very good player for a long time. But you're taking what was it, like 13 times it's happened or 14 times, and it's been done by like 8 or 9 guys, something like that.
Yeah.
And then you look at what McDavid's on the cusp of doing, and it's only been done by 3 players all time, and 3 guys that arguably create contention among hockey fans, because there are those that debate and say Bobby Orr is the best player of all time. There are those that were anti-Gretzky and loved Mario Lemieux and said, well, if Lemieux stayed healthy, he didn't have cancer and he didn't have a back issue in the late 90s and he hadn't retired for a few years, he would have been the guy. And then Gretzky's Gretzky. So McDavid is like in super rarefied air as soon as he hits the century mark in assists. And we've got voters out there going Nathan McKinnon. I understand the Kucherov argument, but I'd still kind of poo-poo that. Wyshynski, I love him. But, and then Matthews, no. The guy's got, what, like 35 assists or something like that. Connor McDavid's doing something that hasn't been done in, 30 years? Since Gretzky in 91? Like, let's look at it how it should be. And it's McDavid's doing amazing things. And this Oilers team's pretty good. He's the most valuable player to his team. That is the Hart Trophy description. Sorry, it would go to Connor McDavid, in my opinion.
I think so,
I'm being
too.
a homer here, but like, it's ridiculous what we're witnessing from McDavid.
Yeah, it really is. As far as Matthews being in the conversation, like, I'm pretty sure McDavid he's 2 assists behind what Matthews has in points, which is goals and assists. It might be 3 because I know he scored again yesterday, but that's just insane. The fact that McDavid has almost as many, assists as Matthews does points, like that should just diminish that argument. But like you said, like I put a video out and people were saying, no, but like 70 goals is like, goals are way harder. But it's like, no, you look at the rarity of it. Like a lot more people have done that than and you look at the people that, Bernie Nichols is you say he's a solid player. I've heard, he was a really good player, but he's no Bobby Orr, he's no Mario Lemieux and Wayne Gretzky, right? And so if McDavid joins that conversation, it's like, and he very well could. He's probably going to, and it could happen tonight. So I think the writers they really go for the headlines and the biggest storylines and whatnot. And you looked at it with, and I kind of said, I don't know if it was on pre or post, but Matthews with his 60 goals hasn't been done in almost 10 years, right? So he got the Hart that year. McDavid with 150 points, that hadn't been done since the early 90s, which was 30 years. And so they look for headlines. If McDavid were to do that, I think I really think it's between McDavid and McKinnon, and I think it's, I don't know if it all comes down to, but who wins the Art Ross, probably that's like a huge piece to winning the Hart, I think, right? And
I think it sways and persuades, yeah.
For sure. And but an argument that was brought up, and I didn't even think of, if McDavid and the Oilers, but if McDavid wills the Oilers to win first in the Pacific, it's not just McDavid, obviously, but he's a huge driving factor for that matter. And if they get first in that's the writers are gonna have to look at that and be like, wow, like that's also, he did this, and so there's very good arguments for both players. And does the 1,000 points, if McDavid, is that something that, if he does that, is that something that the writers look at?
Yeah,
I don't, because
it's not part of the season. It's
Yeah,
not part
okay,
of the season.
that's
a
fair.
career. That's not
fair.
part of the
That's
season.
still ridiculous.
But
if he
and he
pulls
would
it
have to
off.
put back-to-back 150 point seasons together in order for that to happen, which is just also insane. And it's not, that's last season. This is a whole new season, but I just did a video on that as well. That hasn't been done since the 90s as well. So it's just crazy what McDavid's doing. I think it's got to be McKinnon or McDavid for sure, though. As much as Kucherov is having
he's having a great year.
He's having, and
fantastic.
But I just, McKinnon and McDavid are just a whole other beast, man. So
McDavid is literally toying with the NHL right now.
Yeah, he is.
By doing this, like, he's going out of his way not to shoot the puck. Like, it's ridiculous. It's so evident now. He's trying not to score.
Yeah.
I am going to go on my yearly rant.
Go.
That I will
hear
keep going. I will say many times for the next couple of months, and then I'll go on pause until next year, and I'll do this again.
All right.
First and foremost, we need to start making the Ted Lindsay the true MVP of the season, not the Hart Trophy.
As voted by the peers.
As voted by the players, as voted by their peers,
Which
as
their-
opposed
is
to
their
as
peers,
voted
yeah.
by the media. And I don't want to knock the media. This isn't a knock of the media. I just think we
I'm
defer to
media,
the
and I
players.
think we vote stupidly.
Well, I'll defer to the players on this.
Yeah.
You know, if there was an industry award for radio, I would rather see an award be decided by other radio people than listeners of radio type thing, just because game recognizes game type thing.
Yeah.
You know, and so first, and the reason the Heart also kind of gets all the love is because the media does vote on it. So the media was going to pump it out there as the main thing, and it's the big thing. To me, we need to make the Ted Lindsay Award the true MVP of the season. When we have discussions, not what's the Hart Trophy race, it's what's the Ted Lindsay Award race. That's the one thing I would like to see.
That's fine.
On
I'm
that,
with
I also
you
think
on
it
that.
is better defined in that it is the best player in the year.
Yeah.
Not most valuable to their team, which could be very
That wording is so
Open-ended.
stupid.
Yeah, it is.
But now when it comes to this year, though, with those wordings, I think you could say McDavid deserves the Hart and Nathan McKinnon deserves the Ted Lindsay.
Really?
If you look, like, McKinnon's having a great year. Like, he's gotten two 19-point game point streaks, which hasn't been done in NHL history or something like that. He was just shy of Gretzky's record for home point streak.
Right.
He's having an incredible season. And I would be more than okay seeing him be named as the best player this season in hockey. Doesn't mean you're the best player in hockey. It means this season,
Right.
you were the best player. I'm okay with that. But then if we look at what's most valuable to your team, Connor McDavid, because partly is when Connor McDavid was hurt to start this season, and when Connor McDavid wasn't missed some games, where were the Edmonton Oilers in the standings?
2-9-1.
Sonk.
They were
Yeah.
literally last in the National Hockey League at one point this year.
On
And we all
November 9th.
sat there and said, McDavid is hurt. McDavid's not playing well. And, you know, there's something wrong with McDavid. And they actually didn't have him for a couple of games.
Right.
And now he's being to McDavid, and where are they in the standings? They've shot right up. That if you go by definition, who's most valuable to their team now, the Avs can't figure out where they would be or wouldn't be without McKinnon, but the Oilers can.
Yeah.
And they literally were 32nd out of 32nd in this league, and now they've clawed their way back up. That, to me, this is a year, I think, if it's all done right, I believe that it should be Connor McDavid as the Hart Trophy winner, but Nathan McKinnon's the Ted Lindsay Award winner.
You're totally disregarding the Matthias Ekholm factor in all of this. And how dare you? How dare you?
You know, I know you're being
And the Ryan
facetious.
McLeod
I know you're being
factor.
facetious
I am
about
being
the Ekholm,
facetious.
but that was a factor too.
Yeah, it was.
But not to the same level.
I agree.
Right?
I
So,
agree.
like,
I'm
that's
being
where it's
facetious.
like, if we go by letter of the law for the awards, I think the actual argument is more in Connor McDavid's favor for Hart than it
Okay.
is for McKinnon. But
Yeah,
I can
that's fair.
absolutely see, like, I know some people didn't think Matthew should have won the Hart the year he put up 60 and stuff, but the players voted for that.
They did.
And so I was cool with that at the end. If the players say he was the best that season, he's the best that season. I'm okay with that. And if this year they say it's Nathan McKinnon, I'm okay with that. But once again, I end that with saying, make the Ted Lindsay Award the true MVP of the NHL season.
No.
I'm cool with that.
Yeah, that's fair. And regardless, like, I think McKinnon, I honestly, just a hunch, I guess. I don't know. I think it is going to go to McKinnon. It doesn't matter what McDavid does, just in my opinion. Like, he's been in the conversation for like the last 4 or 5 years, and he still hasn't quite won it. Right, the year
deserves
that
one.
he does. Right, so I think that's one.
But are
and
we
you could-
pitying him?
And see,
it's-
that's the thing.
He deserves it because he's had a great season.
It's his turn.
Yeah.
Let's give him the ribbon.
Not necessarily. It's like
I know he's had a great.
his season
I'm
has been
saying that's
unbelievable. His
true,
season
yeah.
has been
Yeah.
insane. And you can make the argument he deserved the one a few years ago when Taylor Hall got it.
Yeah.
You can make the argument that he was actually better that year and he deserved it that season, but he
That's
didn't get
one
it.
of those debatable
have more
ones.
points than
Hall had
Taylor
a
Hall
good
that
year,
year.
but yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like look, McDavid's won these. He doesn't need another. Even he talks about that. That's not the trophy he's focused on. And I think everyone
It's what's
collectively
right.
should. I think everyone collectively should also be looking at who cares about the individual awards this season for the Edmonton Oilers. Doesn't matter. There's only one trophy that because McKinnon has the other trophy.
The Oilers should be going for the Jennings trophy. I'm kidding.
But like McKinnon's got the ring. It's about time that some of these Oilers get their ring, and you need that.
Yeah, you
and
do.
so it's like, who cares if
Legacy.
all of a sudden we look after and the Hart Trophy does, and the Ted Lindsay goes to Nathan McKinnon, but the Oilers are Stanley Cup champs. Who cares?
Gags texts in, guys, I'm all for McDavid and the Hart, but you can't dismiss Kucherov when he's 40 points ahead of the next player on his team and is likely the main reason they're making the playoffs. It is
that's
insane. That is an insane
If you're going to go
stat
by Hart Trophy, like the definition, most
to
valuable
their
to your team,
Yeah.
That's why I think Matt Hull won.
Yeah, it was.
Because he was ridiculously higher than everyone else on his team.
Yeah.
Yeah. This text comes in. I like it. I'm sorry, but the yearly player polls prove that they don't always know best. Nobody's saying these guys are geniuses.
Yeah.
Because they're not.
So who do you trust more, though, media or players?
To know who's the best player
All
in the
of that.
league,
That
the
season,
players.
like, for sure.
The
Yeah.
player polls, they go down some obscure
Sure,
paths
and look,
stuff
some
like
of these
that.
players, I'm sure,
Yeah.
they take their ballot and they don't really care as
They
much.
go,
But you know, these guys are all talking about what's going on around
They
the
do
all year.
They do.
That they're gonna sit there and they'll be, oh my god, are you seeing what McKinnon's doing? Are you seeing what McDavid just did? Like, you know that's happening.
Yeah.
And in the end, like, yeah, I'll defer to them half-assing it, as opposed to the media half-assing it. Like, yeah, this is across the board. Some media actually care about that vote.
Yeah.
They sit down, they research it, they focus, and they try to figure out their ballot. Some just fill it out and throw it in. Same with players.
Yeah.
So when it comes down to the people that are just mailing it in, not caring, I'll trust the players on that one more.
Some that are voting on it from our media side in the league that do get a vote, you're just like, really? They gave you a ballot?
That's actually a question I've always, and you guys might know this, but is it like just
You
with
have to be
time
part
just
of
being
PHWA.
PHW.
So that's
Professional
Okay.
Writers Hockey Association.
Yeah, and
So you have to be a writer, and then you have to be part of that. So like
Yeah.
NHL.com members are not part of the PHWA because they're league. So they don't
Right,
qualify for
okay.
PHWA. So
And
Derek
then-
Van Diest won't have a vote anymore.
he lost his vote. Yeah, and then there's others. There's like one that's voted by the broadcasters. So that'd be
that's-
the radio and TV play-by-plays.
And that's a different award.
That's
like
a
all the
different
awards
award,
have different are voted on differently.
Yes.
Heart is PHWA, which also then includes like I think Elliot Freeman's part of PHWA because he
Yeah.
writes his 32 thoughts
Yeah.
on Sportsnet. So I
Yeah.
think he's eligible for it.
he talks about it. Yeah.
Like Gregor is P.
There's
because
Gregor, DVD or a DNB, Titch. I'm assuming Mahjong now. Matheson, Speck.
Motajon does NHL Network or NHL.com now though. Would that take him out of
Oh,
the?
that's a good question.
DVD used to do that too. I'd have to ask.
So there's those 6 at least potentially. I don't know who else might come in the Edmonton market. But so there's the whole PHWA
Speck,
vote. So yeah,
Gregor,
like if all of a sudden
Titch.
you got hired by the Athletic to write, you were
gosh.
covering the Oilers, and then you became a PHWA, you'd have a chance of voting for the Hart Trophy.
I don't know if
Interesting.
Matty still votes or not.
He's PHWA
Yeah,
because some of those older guys stay with PHWA, like they get just locked in almost.
Yeah, because
I think Red Fisher and stuff like in Montreal and stuff had that
that
happen.
makes sense. Yeah.
So I'm assuming Matty would be one. I think the Hall of Fame guys would be those.
They get-
where
yeah,
you would kind of keep status, I would assume. But this is a big problem because like baseball is the worst for their media voting for their Hall of Fame because you keep your vote or something.
Even when you're done,
There's guys who are writing food columns in Iowa voting for the Baseball Hall of Fame.
that is ridiculous. That is ridiculous.
It is the worst joke. Like the Baseball Hall of Fame is a disaster. Dan Lebatard did a great thing once where he put his vote up to his listeners or his viewers or what did he write a column at the time? He put it up for to crowdsource it,
Really
and he lost his ballot because of it.
shocking.
But he's like, these people know better than these other people. And Keith Olbermann's done some great things on how just flawed the Baseball Hall of Fame vote is. But for them, I think, you might keep it locked in so that when you move to covering something else, you still get a vote. And then they
up,
hold.
man.
Yeah.
I'm not
Baseball
I'll get mad about
baseball
that
would
one.
be the most fun to cover. I've had the chance to, I think, hang out with the press from baseball 2 or 3 times. And I'm just like, this is amazing. I'm like, so what's your game day routine? And even the broadcasters are like, yeah, I just get to the ballpark at like 1. Like, so there's no like pregame skate, if you will. They're like, no, you can show up for BP, but you know the lineup the day before. Well, do you do any pregame interviews? No, what for? And then they just go and they're in like shorts and sandals and they're eating the media meal. Very spacious press box right behind home plate. And it's very casual. And then if you are working on something like a feature or something
long-form
like
piece.
that, that's when you go down to BP and you're on the field. And then when they're done hitting the ball, they come over. You talk to them for like 5 to 10 minutes. You can go in the dugout. You can do it right there if it's a nice sunny day. I was sitting with I was Jack Michaels and I were standing with Justin Morneau while his teammates were taking BP, and we were just talking about everything. We're talking about target field. We're talking about his time playing for the Trappers. I asked him, like, what is your game day routine? He's like, I can take my kids to school. I can pick them up from school sometimes, depending like what time I want to hit or if I want to do treatment. He's like, usually I get to the ballpark for a 7 o'clock first pitch at like 1, and then maybe I'll swing the bat a few times, then I'll get a massage. Then, I'll do this, then I'll do that. I was like, this is amazing. And then we got a tour of the locker room, the Twins locker room. And I'm like, aren't you guys going out there to play the game in 20 minutes? They're like, yeah, we've got lots of time. And we're going through like the medical facilities, a workout room. And then the starting pitcher is in the hot tub.
No.
And the equipment managers were taking us around. And, and I'm like, who's that guy? And he's like, oh, he's pitching tonight. I'm like, he's not even dressed. He's in the hot tub. He's like, oh, yeah, he's got lots of time. And then the Twins room, the doors at both ends. One from like the workout / lounge area, and then the other one goes into the dugout area to the ballpark. And I opened the door and I almost slam it in Joe Mauer's face because his stall was right around the corner, and I'm like, oh, sorry, because it just flung open. And he's like, he's eating a plate of pasta, full mouth. He's like, that's okay. I'm like, what the hell? There's a poker game happening. Guys are like half dressed, and like you could hear the anthem singer warming up in the tunnel. I'm like, what the hell is going on here?
Like
it is just a different pace.
162 game slog.
Yeah.
It can't be that intense every single time. Big Uke in the nasty chat. Norris needs to go to best defenseman. And the Paul Coffey Award needs to go to best offensive defenseman.
I don't mind that.
Yeah, this is a good. I saw that comment. Do you think the NHL should bring in, like, I know the NBA has the most improved player, and I thought about that. I'm like, I wouldn't mind seeing that in the NHL. Are there any trophies? Like, as far as this goes, though, I'm totally on board. I think
which defenseman has the most points.
Yeah,
That's what it's
essentially
turned into.
Yeah, that
Not
is.
who's actually great at defending within their own blue line.
Yeah. No, for sure. I definitely.
Or it's been a while since.
I'd love to see that come in. Who is the actual like best defenseman? At playing defense and most improved player. I think that would be something I'd like to see. Maybe.
So they do have is it the comeback award, which is the Jennings?
Masterton.
Is it the Bill Masterton trophy?
Masterton, sorry.
Matt went on. You might be right. I'll have to look it up. But
Yeah, that's like perseverance.
And I'll say
It's
this
like
about that one. The one thing I don't like about that is that we award it to one person in the end.
Yeah.
It's hard to I think figure out which one was better than the other. Like you get the one year where the player goes through a lot of professional issues, doesn't have a good year one year, and comes back and has a great season, and then it's going up with someone who had like health issues.
Yeah.
And how do you compare those two, right?
Yeah.
Like, and I think it's almost like
it's a comeback player of the year award.
But I think like
totally subjective.
Each team gets a nominee, but they all, to me, we should just name them all the winners. Like, and maybe people are like that's participation.
Yeah, that is totally participation.
It is, but I also just find it very difficult. Like, because then it comes down to who had the worst health scare.
Yeah.
That's what we have to give it to. Because how do you compete with that? Whereas like, but everyone's gone through all sorts of different things. Everyone's gone through something different. How do we actually sit here and why are we judging that? And this one is this one.
No, he
didn't have to go through as much as this person. Like,
yeah,
I
think
find that one a little
weird. Nah, I don't think it's as ambiguous as you think.
No, I think I just sometimes having to sit there and this guy had to deal with cancer. Like, of course they're gonna win. But
like there's some teams that have a nominee where the puppy died or something like that. Like,
yeah, and some teams don't have anything for that, but some have you went through a lot of personal issues for this, whatever it might be, but you've come back and you scored 30, 40 goals, whatever. How did this happen? Well, you're not going to win if someone has a complete health scare. And we're like discrediting some of the other things that happen where like I think we should just be elevating all of them.
I kind of side with Maddie here. I'm not going to lie.
I disagree.
Really?
It's the human element to that, the human element to all of this. And I think and maybe, I'll say this, maybe there is the one winner, but it's like the Walter Payton Award is kind of that in the NFL. And they do have one main winner, but all the team nominees get to go to the Super Bowl outside of, I guess, the team's playing, and they're represented on the field before a game.
Well,
before
cool.
the game.
Then send all of the guys to the Stanley Cup final. I don't care.
Maybe do that at the awards where you show them all, and they all get that little moment,
Great.
But then you name one full winner.
Yeah.
I find it weird that we're just like having to dissect who was persevered more than the other
It's
when they all
comeback player
persevered.
of the year. Like I think it's pretty straightforward. I like.
Yes, okay,
I really
but
like
why-
that idea of recognizing all of them.
But how the point is, like,
Let us yell at each other.
does it have-
We're old
Boys,
men.
boys. I just talking
but come back. So in what way? Like
Very subjective.
exactly.
Very
and so now,
subjective.
And now we're not being subjective in terms of who's the best player in hockey, which is kind of trivial. We're being subjective on something that is actually quite significant
Yeah,
to these
but, like-
people's lives.
Okay, but you
And
have to
that's
have
where
an
it's-
effect on the ice.
Oh, they all
have to have-
okay, but some of those don't have full effect on the ice.
Some of them are third line grinders that play 9 minutes a night.
But they've had some sort of health thing and they've come
Sure.
back, which is great
Then
perseverance.
bring them to
and then
the
they go
Stanley
win.
Cup final and put them on the ice for recognition.
But then they always go win because how do you look at a health thing and go, that's not as good
You
as
shouldn't laugh
this
at a
person."
health thing.
Well, that's the point.
Or
but now we have to
scoff
dissect
at it.
That's where I just like we should just honor all of them.
Nobody said that this is easy. Okay, honor all of them. Put out a press release with their names. Well, they do that already. Give them some kind of little trophy that they send to. I don't care. But it's comeback player of the year. Who had the
Perseverance.
biggest?
Abutsky said.
Yeah,
Not
okay.
necessarily comeback.
Great, but it's essentially comeback player of the year. And it is about perseverance. Yes, that's in the definition, but I think it's fairly simple to understand that. I don't think it's as
He's
tough
the more
as you make-
cold-hearted one than me
Yeah,
here.
yeah, yeah.
and usually you're the cold-hearted
Yeah,
one.
this is interesting. I
Okay,
like that. I like
okay.
sitting back and just
Player
watching you guys. This
A-
is good.
Player A had just a tremendous health scare where it was awful. Okay, he comes,
came
he
back and
comes
they play
back
hockey.
and he does diddly squat all
But he
season,
plays 82 games.
playing 3 minutes a night, zero effect. So the fact that he did that and came back from
Is an incredible story.
absolutely it is. They'll maybe make a Hallmark movie about it. And then player B also went through something pretty serious, not
Had a
as
bad
severe
year.
as player A, but when he came back and played
Jack
this
Campbell
year,
next year puts
had
a 920 save percentage in the National Hockey
he's
League.
up for the Masterton.
Like that's
Yes,
okay. But do you know who wins the award every year?
the guy that had the health scare.
Exactly.
Not always.
I would say the majority of the time they do.
Like cancer, don't mess with cancer. Like
But
that's a scary one.
but now it's like okay, the award though
But
is
if a guy had a
perseverance.
broken leg,
and Jack Campbell comes, like I said, next year.
Why
and
didn't
have
Taylor
that.
Fadoon win the Masterton? He had a broken femur.
But he deserves some sort of recognition for such a perseverance and
He got
comeback.
nominated.
And that's where I think we need bigger recognition for them. And I don't think we need to necessarily name one. We could say all 32 are winners.
We're fighting over the Masterton
I will
here.
go over that one.
I agree.
I will just go over that one and just be like, I'm okay with the participation ribbon for that one because they're great stories.
I like it, man.
Feel good stories. Feel
Yeah,
good stories.
this
I'm
is
okay with
interesting.
that. The rest,
But
stick
don't
it
make
to
eye
one.
contact with this guy if he walks into your
No,
store.
no. I didn't say don't make eye
I'm
contact. I'm not making
Leave
eye
me
contact
alone.
with you. I just and Big Uke saying like you have to expect that when you go into a store, people are gonna ask you. I get that. I didn't say that they're wrong for doing that. I would just like to get to a situation where if I could put something on that signifies you don't need to come talk to me. I will come to you. And there are things like that in the world where they do things at various stores. Where like the different color shopping basket decides whether you go with I need help or come ask me or just please leave me alone. That's all I'm asking for.
This is like an Italian, or not Italian, Brazilian steakhouse where you put the little
Yes.
thing and you flip.
That's
Yes,
all I'm
meat.
asking for.
No
let's,
meat.
Let's get that as something that happens in malls or stores so that I could walk in and they don't have to waste their time with me. They could just be watching the sport on TV while I look at jerseys. That's all it is.
Okay.
EST flyaway time.
I like it, Matty.
Your chance to qualify for the trip to Las Vegas. All thanks to our wonderful partners with the Edmonton International Airport. That's FlyYEG. Nonstop flights to over 50 destinations. Your sports trip starts with a nonstop flight from FlyYEG. Visit FlyYEG.com for more information. It's 2 nonstop flights, 3 nights accommodations, tickets to Cirque. Also thanks to our partners, the LVCVA from Las Vegas. If you win this trip, you have 2 months to book it, but you can travel within a year, so you could pick when you go. You're not going when we tell you to go. You get to decide when you want to go. So get your phones out. If you want to get into the draw today, what you have to do is text in to 780-218-9999 Hoover. Hoover to 780-218-9999 Hoover Dam.
That's
If you
a good
go to
You
Vegas,
people with the dirty minds out
you
there.
can go travel to Hoover Dam And I don't know how far it is. It's like an hour
I
or
think
something.
it's like 20 miles, not even.
So it's close.
And it's very close. And then the Pat Tillman Bridge. I've walked
yeah?
across it once. I'll do it. I'll never do it again because I'm deathly afraid of heights.
That's pretty cool.
Even when I drive over it, I shudder. I'm like, oh no, this is so scary.
Hoover.
That's a good
HOOVER
one.
780-218-9999. Zactum will give someone a call in a couple minutes, and then after that we can make the transition between Zach and Trev.
He's having a great show.
Thanks, boys.
I'm enjoying
Yeah, I'm
this
having
right
a lot
now.
of fun. This is always.
Have you
Hoover.
been to the Hoover Dam?
I went there once when I was in grade 2. My parents took me to Vegas. I don't know why, but
It's a family
as I've
destination.
gotten older, I know why they took me because they'd be like, "Hey, go have fun," like to me, myself and my brother, and we would have fun, and then we'd see them the next morning, and then they'd be like, "Sup, mom? Sup, dad?" But yeah, we went to Hoover Dam. It was pretty cool. There wasn't that bridge there though.
Yeah, it's relatively new.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I was like, I was blown away, right? I was like super young. I'm like, I can't get over. And being from southern Alberta, there's some dams that I grew up near, but that was the biggest dam I've ever seen. I said, I'll be damned when I seen it. And I was like, that's a big dam. And it's a super cool. So I think this is a better word than your first one today, Maddie. I like it.
What was the first one?
Glamour.
Glamour. I don't know.
Yeah, but Vegas is glamorous.
I don't know.
Welcome to fabulous Las Vegas.
Just joking. No, it's
That's
good.
exactly.
It's like a shtick.
Look, I'm not going to sit here and say glamour is one of the best words that I've came up with for this.
You
But
have to
it
fit
fits.
like 100
That's what I was
something
thinking.
words.
I told
There's
the boys.
7 weeks.
I told the boys. I was
Five,
like,
4 per day, and then 1 on each weekend.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I said I wasn't too happy with it, and then I thought, I'm
Oh
like,
my goodness.
there's a lot of words you have to pick, Maddie. So I guess that was probably the bottom of the barrel.
We're
one,
getting
you
into
know.
the stretch for the next couple of days, I think, where it's pretty bad.
Have we gone through all the hotel names?
No.
Well, that's
I'm not going. I don't have
said
all
no.
the hotel names in there. I don't think there's just too many.
I'll-
Let me take a look.
is Tropicana. Has it been one?
No,
it
because
just
it's being shut down, so I didn't put it on
It's
there.
shut down this week.
I like my lock
Unceremoniously.
shop ones. My lock shop, for the most part, this whole time is related to sports betting.
Nice.
So like,
That makes sense.
I stand by my lock shop
Yeah, that's
ones.
good.
Okay.
Tomorrow's awful.
Let me see.
Just one moment.
Let me see.
I don't mind Fridays.
What do we have on Saturday?
It works, but
Last
it's
week
stupid
was
as
good.
hell.
Okay.
Next week,
Do you have Papa Giorgio in there at all?
no, I don't. Next
Have
week's
you ever
not too
seen
bad.
Vegas Vacation?
No.
It was a little bit before you were born.
Week 6.
Yeah.
Great movie.
So April 15th is all right. We end all right. Yeah, take a look.
I think it's been a pretty good promo, to be honest with you. Oh,
Which one? Which one are you looking at for that one?
all of the Hello Hockey. Well, Hello Hockey on the 13th. That's a good one.
I didn't see that one. Yeah, this
the
Saturday
one on
is
the
just-
20th. Yeah, thanks
I
for
didn't
the
know.
scraps.
I'm telling you, this wasn't the best little bit of it.
Okay, what day is it today? Today's the 2nd? Or the
Yes.
3rd? Yeah, today's the 2nd.
No, 3rd.
3rd. Yeah.
Look for Hoover.
Yeah, I see it. There it is.
By the way,
Oh.
this is the EST Hangout
Lock-
presented by White Claw. Matt Iwanyk, YouTube Trev, Tom Gazzola. The hard seltzer that started a wave made with refreshingly real flavors for their iconic taste. White Claw, the difference is clear. Which one are you shaking your head at?
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Tomorrow's
tomorrow.
hangout.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's going on
Yeah.
here? Anyway,
I
doesn't
have
matter.
nothing else to say, but
Bottom
yeah.
line, you have a chance to win a trip for two to
man.
Vegas, 3 nights accommodation, tickets to Cirque du Soleil. Anyway, so Tropicana gets shut down this week unceremoniously. Usually they do when these big resorts. This one has been open for almost 60 years, and it's where the new ballpark for the A's is going. And how about this? The Las Vegas Aviators, the AAA team that used to be the 51s, they moved from downtown. I went to that ballpark, Cashman Field. I saw Brett Laurie playing for them. And it was not great. It was not great. It was tied to a convention center or something like that in a mall. They moved out to Summerlin, which is a suburb. It'd be like taking the Riverhawks and putting them in St. Albert kind of thing, for a local reference. Anyway, so the Aviators draw like 9,300 fans the other night for their home opener or whatever. The Oakland A's for their home opener was like 3,400
Oof.
at a 60,000 seat. They don't use the
Jeez.
football stands anymore at
It's bad.
Alameda County
And-
Coliseum or whatever it's called now. Ricky Henderson
Where
Field.
do I have it?
Yikes.
I got to pull up the tweet
Brutal.
here.
It was bad, man.
It is bad.
This is it.
It was a bad, man.
So,
And
Can
the
I-
Tropicana, so they're going to tear down the Tropicana. It closed this week, unceremoniously. They're going to build the ballpark there. They did new renderings for the ballpark. It looks like kind of like the Sydney Opera House.
Looks like the coolest thing I've ever seen
Like
in my
it
life.
almost looks like a Sydney Opera House if it became a alien spaceship.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
we're going to speak to our qualifier for the EST Flyaway for the Hangout for today. Who do we have on the line today, Zach? Jamie, congratulations. You are in the draw. Have you ever been to Las Vegas before?
Oh, many times.
Many times.
Yes.
When would you want to go if you win this trip on April 26th? Do you have anything circled on your calendar that you'd be like, I got to get to Vegas for that?
You know what? It's my hubby's 50th birthday this year, so
Oh.
that's definitely what we're going to do.
I love that.
What was it?
Her husband's 50th this year.
That's a great one.
That's a great idea to get
Yes.
down there.
Nice.
What's your favorite thing to do when you're in Las Vegas?
Gambling.
Love that. Well, Jamie, congratulations. You're into the draw. Keep your phone on April 26th because if you're the winner, we'll give you a call, let you know that you're off to Las Vegas.
Sounds awesome. Thanks, guys.
There's Jamie, our latest qualifier
Awesome.
for the EST Flyaway. Your next chance to qualify coming up during the Lock Shop with Dusty and Huston. Another chance to qualify in the noon hour show with you, Tom Gazzola,
Yes, sir.
and Dustin Nilsson with the Oil Stream.
What was Jamie's thing to do? Favorite
Gambling.
Thing gambling. Oh, okay.
Love gambling.
I love hanging at the pool. The pools there
That's
are awesome.
all I did.
And even like I haven't done actually I have done the pool party, but just regular pools good. If you find a resort hotel with a good pool and a nice vibe, money.
When I was there, yeah, that's like my favorite part. That's all I did. We'd
Yeah.
wake up, we'd go to. We stayed at the Golden Nugget last time, and yeah,
Classic.
it was like the sweetest thing. And I love the pool. Just chilling by the pool, having some drinks, great
Yeah.
company, a lot of fun. I agree.
Trev, it's great having you here.
Thanks,
You go
boys.
get a
hell outta here.
Thanks,
little-
boys. I had a
little
lot of
rest
fun.
and back for 6 o'clock for
Shaking
the
I think I'm just
Oil
going to
Stream
stay
pregame
here all
show.
day.
What?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, they could also nap in my office if you need to.
Sounds good.
I
Right
don't
on.
know.
Have
Everyone
a
has
great
to.
one, Nasties.
Except
Take
I
her
think
easy.
Eric.
Seats nice and
Not
warm
yet.
for you, Zach, to come.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. And Zacticum. The two of them. Matt Iwanyk, Tom Gazzola here. That was YouTube Trev. Zacticum coming in. Just some news breaking in basketball world. Vince Carter, Chauncey Billups being elected to the Hall of Fame. So Vince Carter going to the Hall of Fame.
Good,
Deserves it.
rightly so. He was a great player for a long time. Obviously, huge in establishing
Basketball
the
in Canada.
passion for basketball, not just in Toronto, but like you said, across Canada.
It built a lot from there. Where the love came.
Yeah.
Was I look at Steve Nash, I look at the Raptors and the Grizzlies coming, and that was a big part of it.
Rick Fox gets forgotten so quickly.
It's one of those things too, though, where
I'm being facetious.
no, I know I could also say Jamal McGlure in that one.
Jamal McGlure. He was good.
It's just wild to think that Carter is now just getting in.
But he only
played for
retired
so
like
long.
2 or
I know,
3 years ago.
That's the thing. Like he played for so long
Yeah.
in the end that it's just like, geez, this isn't happening sooner. Like those Raptors years. Like when did he last play for the Toronto Raptors?
like 2007.
That's what I'm saying. Like it just feels like forever. And now he's just going into the hole.
Yeah.
Well, I don't even know much about the NBA, but Vince Carter is a huge name.
04.
04?
Wow.
98 to 04 was his time with the Raptors. And yeah, he retired in 2020. Wow. What a career. What a
Long
player
time.
that ended up being. I need to find this athletics story. Because I don't know if you've seen all the guys getting like sent down and stuff
Where?
with the athletics. I got to find this full story.
Oh, with the Oakland Athletics. I thought about the
Yeah, no,
athletic, like the
Yeah,
publication.
that's what I was. Yeah. Well, that
The
team
digital
is in
magazine or digital
whatever
paper. Yeah.
article. I don't know. But aren't the Athletics in shambles? Like, haven't they?
Yes.
I've heard nothing great about the Athletics. They've always
Their
been-
history is great.
Oh yeah. Well, in the last few years, it's just
Awful.
been terrible. Like they're
a
kind
mess.
of like the joke of the MLB, right?
Correct.
They're the Arizona Coyotes of the MLB, maybe.
Almost worse, which is sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They can't get anyone in there, right? Like nobody watches their games or anything.
Well, they
They're
have a
just-
good fan base, but they've just totally shunned the fan base. Like they've made it awful to the ballpark experience is terrible. I I've gone to games, and that was 5-6 years ago, and the ballpark sucks. It's a dangerous part of the city. They've done nothing to upgrade it. The amenities are awful. They put no money into the actual team that they field. They tried the Moneyball thing, and to a certain amount of success.
Great movie.
It is a great movie. The book is even better, Zacticum.
I can't read much.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
If for someone of your ilk, maybe you want to do the audiobook. I don't know, but I find that reading's more productive. And then, like I was saying, the AAA team in Vegas drew 3 times as many fans to their home opener last week than the A's did to theirs. And that was like 9,000 to 3,000.
So here's the story of the A's right now this season that's not being talked about much.
Let's go.
Ruiz was sent to the minors. He has a .429 batting average, which is really good. Brent Rooker, the A's sole all-star, was benched. The reason that they were like the commonality between these two, they were seen wearing these wristbands that were in solidarity of protests leaving Oakland. So they're wearing these things protesting, in support of the fans and stuff. And so they've sent their .429 batting average guy down to the minors and benched their only all-star.
Yeah, that's how crappy of an organization they are.
They are so thin-skinned that their players are just wearing a wristband.
Yeah.
And they're getting punished.
Yeah. Because their owner is such a piece of you-know-what. Like, when Mark Davis says he doesn't want to deal with, what's his name, John Fisher? With the Athletics?
I'm trying to think what his name.
I think it's Fisher. Anyway, when Mark Davis is the one being like, I don't want anything to do with them when they come to town, because he just left Oakland and was dealing with them in the same stadium as they were in for years and years and years.
John Fisher.
Yeah, and that's a bad sign. That's a bad sign. And Mark Davis is a weird dude. And so I just it's an MLB. I don't know. Can they can't just take the franchise away? They'd have to find a reason to make a case, and they'd need the other 30.
I don't know their full rules, but generally those type of things you need 2/3 vote to just kick someone out. You could kick anyone out.
Yeah.
So if they wanted to, they could. They don't even think you need a reason. They can sit there and you're not running this franchise properly. We voted 2/3 to remove you.
That
and
happened
now
with the Coyotes.
Yeah, the fear would be
Barroway.
that was he going to sue for the fact that you didn't get rid of me properly? But you give him a little payment, whatever. It can be done if you want to.
Interesting.
But I don't think baseball doesn't care. Their owners suck.
They're
the worst owners of it all.
They are.
They were
Pompous.
willing to not play games during the COVID year, the 2020, I think it was, where shortened season. Like they were the one that could have been first, and then they took their sweet time.
Yeah.
Because it would have cost money to turn on the lights.
Yeah.
Like that's their mentality. Like, well, really? I think Low Tide always put it like it's like none of them want to actually. They don't like baseball, but for some reason they own these baseball teams.
It's a play
and they would prefer them not to play games. And they do anything they can to make sure that they don't play games. And like, so that's where like the majority of these fans, like the owners, they don't care. PFT commentator and I think Big Cat with Barstool, they're betting against the Athletics this year as a FU to the ownership. Betting against the line, like and stuff. The run line, I think it's called in baseball or something. They're 4-2 on the season right now, winning those bets.
Wow.
So bet against the Athletics, and you might make money
They're
this
gonna be
season.
terrible.
If based on the first 6 games.
Yeah.
So,
The rookie sends in a fun fact about the Hoover Dam.
okay.
Hoover Dam fun fact. The first person to die during construction was the grandfather of the last person to die during construction. I think there's a bunch of guys that are like buried in cement
Yeah, like
in the Hoover Dam.
Yeah, because I don't think they could get their bodies or something. And it was
Yeah.
just too dangerous. So you just
Yeah.
keep going.
Yeesh.
it's like, well, I guess there you are. It would be more dangerous to try and get them, I guess. But I think that's in a song. I don't know. The Highwaymen. You know that song?
No.
Okay.
Who sings it?
Johnny Cash, Willie Nelson.
Oh yeah.
4 guys, the Highwaymen.
That's right. I was actually watching some of their. They did a concert in like 1990, and it popped up on my YouTube. I watched a bunch of it. Ghost Riders in the Sky.
I think so.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
To yesterday's hangout, they died doing what they loved. Just as we got
Trying to earn a living.
Well, we had the whole thing yesterday that we always say that people die doing what they love and stuff.
Oh, that's
and,
right.
I think I've heard that fact before a little bit. So
I want to look it up. Continue.
you're gonna look it up.
Yeah.
Because the internet's going to be 100% factual.
Wikipedia is
when it
never
comes to-
wrong, Matthew.
Actually, you want to know something? Wikipedia, like I remember when it first launched, like kind of was a big deal. I was still in high school and stuff, and it was like you cannot use Wikipedia for anything. Like it was straight up anyone could edit it. You were not able to use that for anything in school. I think now it's actually pretty legit.
Yeah, like
They have the
change,
sources
it's
at the
flipped.
bottom.
Yeah.
But you like the big stuff, you can't just go change anything. Like I can't go just change, Joe Biden or Donald Trump's page. It's fully locked.
Yeah.
So like the big stuff, there still would be some things, and you got to pay attention to the sources that everything's at. But to me, I think Wikipedia is pretty legit these days.
I remember trying to use it in school all the time, and my teachers was like, "Hey, man, you got to find something better," because it'd be the first thing that popped up every time. It had the most information on it. I'm like, "Well, it's here. People use it. Why not?" Now I trust it more than I did before, though.
It's better than encyclopedias. Did you ever have encyclopedias?
Oh yeah, we
Yeah.
had them at my parents had
Yeah.
encyclopedias, and my dad would be like, "Go to the
You
encyclopedia."
gotta pull out B and look for what you're looking for.
Yeah.
Hope that it's in there, and if it's not in there, like I'm screwed.
Like, this is bullshit.
I tried using those a couple. Pain.
You saw something.
I'm surprised by this. So the U.S. Bureau of Reclamation is my source, not Wikipedia. Hoover Dam. Okay, so how many of the people that died during construction of Hoover Dam are buried in the concrete?
7.
Zero.
0.
No one is buried in Hoover Dam. They did have 96 official fatalities. And then I think it was, there were up to 113 or 112 that were kind of like not construction fatalities, that were something else. So
That's what they want you to think.
Yeah.
that's what the Bureau of Reclamation.
That's what they want you to think.
Okay. Oh, don't go into conspiracy theories. You can get these fake Facebook videos posted and circirculated.
I'm going to start the conspiracy video channel of
Oh my god.
Just the
EST,
Hoover Dam.
and it's going to start with the Hoover Dam.
Oh my god.
That's what they want you to think, Tommy.
Stop it.
Do your research.
You got to dig deeper than that, man.
Yeah.
I'm just going to trust the Bureau.
So Zacticum.
Yeah.
Sports.
Yeah, sports. Tonight's game is going to be a good one. I'm surprised Trev said that he was a Dallas Stars fan. Second favorite team.
Oh, he likes the
Don't
Stars.
try
He
to
knows it.
deflect because of what you've done.
I'm not deflecting. I'm saying that's an interesting choice. I haven't really met many Dallas fans, and it's a respectable team. They've had some good history, some really good players. Seems like, especially in recent years, and when
You're a
I
big
mean,
Yuri
Jamie
Lekkinen
Benn.
guy? Or
No.
Lettinen?
Oh, I forgot.
no, I'm not a huge Dallas Stars fan myself, but I know a few of the players like Jamie Benn and all the big guys in the recent years.
But no
And
Radek Faxa?
Radek Foxa, yeah, I've heard of him.
Okay, good.
I've seen some highlights probably.
Good.
But I haven't, viewed full games or anything. But the Dallas Stars, I do like them. They are a good team this year as well. They scare me the most, I think,
Really?
out of any team.
Go on.
Their whole lineup is just fantastic. I mean, picking up Chris Tanev, that one really put it over the edge. I think that they might be the best team in the West. Quite honestly, they got
bold.
a
Better than
deadly
Colorado?
forward group.
Better
I
than
mean, they've
Vancouver?
been really good since the trade
They've been pretty
deadline
good.
as well. Like, they've been absolutely lights out. And it's hard there because both teams have a great forward group. I mean, McKinnon is having an all-star season, and I think he deserves a heart this year. I think he does. McDavid, though, in this last couple weeks, as Greg Wyshynski was saying, if the tides turn or whatever, like if he's able to put up, I don't know, 25 points in like 10 games, whatever he's had in the last 10 or so games himself, if he's able to keep that going, which in recent years he turns on the burners towards the end of the season, I think he can make a run for it. He could get the Art Ross as well, but right now I think the entire season I've had McKinnon getting the heart, and he's helped his team a lot. So I think he's number one for me.
Okay.
in that trophy race.
Thing with the Stars that would scare me
What?
is that they're doing so well without Jake Ottinger being Jake Ottinger.
Right?
And if he starts playing like he can, then what does that team really become?
Like, where are their weaknesses? Like Zach was talking about, like they're pretty good and they have been all season. But like you look at that roster, you go, where's their weakness? Defensive depth? Maybe. But not really. You bring up Tanev. Tanev shores things up.
It's hard to really point at one specific thing with that team
Right.
and just say, hey, that's a hole in their game.
Like there's a
Well, I think it would be a goaltending right now for this season. I think that'd be the closest. I'm just trying to see. His save percentage this year is 900. Dead on 900, which isn't good enough, and it's 2.87 GAA. But he has the ability
to crank it
to
up.
go up. And that's the scary part for me.
Yeah.
Like, if you're getting that Jake Ottinger, the one that's playing right now, as good as the Stars are, that's beatable in the playoffs, I think. 900 save percentage? Like,
Yeah.
that's not winning you a Stanley Cup. Plain and simple. It's not. So that's where it comes. But what is his playoff history here? Got to see if I can find it quickly.
2 years ago, he lost to the Flames.
But he didn't lose to the Flames.
They couldn't score.
He was brilliant. Didn't they beat the Flames?
No, they lost to the Flames 2 years ago.
Oh, yeah, because then they went to beat the Oilers in the second round. That's what it was. But no, he was brilliant in that series.
Yeah, was that his rookie season?
He had no support.
Yeah, it was really early. I
Yeah.
don't know if it was rookie. Yeah, it might have been
That
like
was
his
when-
first like full year.
Yeah. That was when I saw Jake Ottinger and I was like, man, this guy's amazing.
So he played 2 games in 1920 in the playoffs, which I think, was that the bubble year?
Yes.
That might have been the bubble year.
That's bubble
He
year.
came in and he didn't start any games, so he came in relief. He was perfect. His first year as a starter was 21-22. 954 save percentage in those 7 games against the Flames.
They were all low scoring, right?
He gave up 13 goals in 7 games.
Yeah.
Like, he had under 2 goals allowed average, a 954 save percentage.
Yeah.
And they lost that series.
Yeah.
So it wasn't because of him. Last year, 895 save percentage. Wasn't good enough.
So,
So
technically,
to me,
he's
it's-
playing better this year.
Yeah, well, yeah, barely. So, like, that, I would have to say that would be the closest thing I would say to the flaw of the Dallas Stars. But if he can get, like, I'm not going to say 954.
Even like
920.
910, 920.
920.
If
That
you can get
team's
to
scary.
920. Yeah. When I think of the Stars, I look at them and I go, there's no real holes on the roster. And Ottinger can be excellent, like you said, Zacticum. But it's almost like whenever Dallas has a bit of a lull or their downfall, it seems to be they just go, they fade away. You know, like they don't show up.
Yes. I know what you mean.
Yeah.
I feel that with them.
They
they're
go
not
sleepy.
Like in the 90s, they were, I don't know, they I don't know how to word it exactly, but everything about them was scary. You didn't want to play them. They went off. They had their runs. They only won 1 Stanley Cup even at that time. But
2 final appearances.
But you're always scared of them.
Yeah.
And now it's like, to me, they're an afterthought nowadays. Then they were the top team in the West, you would look at.
Yeah.
They were right up there with the Red Wings and the Avs. Now it's like, yeah, they're up there, but we always talk about the Avs, or we talk about the Golden Knights, or we say the Edmonton Oilers. We don't talk about them that much. They're just the afterthought because it just feels like when it comes, they're going to fade away. They're not going to do it. They're not going to show up.
I mean, they got to the Cup final in 20, but that was weird. That whole circumstance in 2020 was bizarre because of
the COVID Cup?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was
Well,
there
you had a
for
lot
that.
of, like, the Canucks have their run with
Yeah.
Demko and net.
Bubble Demko.
It was a wild time.
Yeah.
And I got a tree out of it.
Do you still have this
It's on my
tree?
parents' lake.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's about half of it doesn't grow. Do you know what it looks like sometimes? Do you know the lemon tree from The Simpsons?
Yeah.
After they bring it back and it's
Yeah.
partly cut off because it hits the thing. It kind of looks like that. Like there's branches that just no leaves. It doesn't seem to grow, but the other ones do. But yeah, I have the Ice District tree still.
They called that
planted.
the prison yard in the bubble.
I loved updating people on that every day.
Well, those are great updates.
Oh, they were so
'Cause your
much
your
fun.
balcony oversees it.
Saw it all, and then I
Yeah.
think, was it Cheese? Might have been Cheeseman. There's a couple people that they were like trying to see where I was because they were in the bubble.
Yeah.
And they were tweeting or like texting me pictures, and I was texting back, no, that's not me, but I'd zoom in on them and
Oh
send
my
them
God.
pictures of them. I creeped on that stuff so hard.
I remember I did a couple. We do these things at TSN called 3 and 3. So it'd be Rashog and I for TSN television, and they managed to talk their way into the Stantec Tower, like the
Yes.
patio on the 3rd or 4th floor. Great. It was beautiful. You could see the arena in the background, and then you could see actually into the bubble too. And I remember Dave Parker, great cameraman extraordinaire, videographer, one of the best in the country, if not the best. And I was talking to Parker. I'm like, so like, how did you guys finagle this? He goes, well, Ryan did some legwork, TSN did some legwork, and then they told me that I can't I have to be careful not to get shots of players in the background if they might be too close together or if they happen to not be wearing a mask. And I was like, oh my goodness. And then I remember we're getting ready to do the shoot, and I'm looking in, and they're all where Alchemy is on the 5th floor of the JW.
The outdoor balcony.
Yeah, the outdoor balcony. A bunch of the players are hanging out there, and Parker's like, well, okay, guys, we got to go more this way because I can't have the players in the background. It was just so strange. So strange.
Yeah, but they're in the bubble. You're allowed to be close to each other.
That was
I don't know, man. Like, the stuff I heard about the bubble, they tried to police it, but
you're all in the bubble. Like, as long as you can't get out, like, it wasn't supposed to. No, this won't go into all that. But it was fine. I remember when they brought the trees out, and I was so thrilled because I was like, this looks so stupid. There's like 4 trees just in planters that make no sense just to bring a sort of something.
yeah.
Thank you to Yukon Jack and Matty Rupp for that.
Matty Rupp. Matty Rupp is, he was not happy that he did not have an EST hat. He texted me when he saw the hat on the broadcast the other day.
Well, they're for sale. Actually, we're sold out right now. I got to
We're
order
sold
some.
out. And I had a few people reach out. Yes, I said new batch is coming. And then Matty Rupp also was disappointed that we have not given him a studio tour yet. And I said, just show up. When we're here, you listen all the time.
Yeah, but he doesn't know where we are. I'll just met us. I don't know if he's watching
Text
right now.
me. I think I texted
Matty,
him.
message me. Yeah, we'll get mad.
Why is it always my fault, Matthew? Rupp, not Matthew Iwanyk.
Well, a lot of things just could get blamed on me. It's a lot easier for a lot of people.
I'm getting blamed for it by Matty
But
Rupp.
portions of this hour brought to you by the Hive Product Marketing, official merch partner of EST, promotional products that bring the buzz. Check them out, hiveproductmarketing.com. And like I said, I've had a few people message me asking about the hats because it says we're sold out. I have to actually messaging Chelsea today to get them ordered. Gonna get some flats and curved,
Both.
maybe.
Those are great.
I'll get a few more of those, but we're also working on maybe the idea of a new hat to launch. And just a few other things for spring, summerish around here. Plus,
I like it.
Planning stuff for the golf tournament. So,
like it.
highproductmarketing.com if you're looking for any sort of merch for your business, or if you just want it for yourself, just because you feel like you want your own merch. Should be fun.
Right.
yeah, one of those like visor hats.
We will not do visor hats. Nope, not happening.
No visor hats.
I'm against visor hats. Straight up,
Oh.
we're not doing
Yeah,
visor hats.
I'm with you on that.
Not happening.
Solidarity here.
And the fact that I'm in charge of this makes me so happy because I could shut some things down that we will never do. Visors are one we will never do visors. Jason Stradwick, don't care that you like them. They look terrible. Not happening.
I've never worn one of them. I've never understood.
I used to wear them as a
hype
kid,
behind
like in junior high and stuff. I had like a Miami Hurricanes one. They're stupid.
They're
I was stupid as
dumb.
a kid.
They're dumb. They're dumb. I'm with you. Solidarity. Here. Collingwood Rob with a Hoover Dam fact.
Oh, another one.
That Hoover Dam fact is true about the father and son. The one stat of the 96 deaths during construction is not exact because of the fact that if they died on site, the families would be owed more money. So the construction companies would get the injured off site as quickly as possible so that if they died, the payout was less. And dying from injuries was not counted in the 96 because they died in hospital. The overall numbers will never be known. Also, if you died on the site, there was a different payout to the family if you died on the Nevada side or the Arizona side.
As I said, there's more into this. They're hiding things. Don't trust what you're hearing.
See? Collingwood Rob, thank you. That's great.
See, the cracks are already happening. Cracks in their stories are already happening. The Bureau's got to be scared. EST's coming with our little video expose on what happened to the building of the Hoover Dam.
Trev and Zacticum in there.
I want them asking questions.
Oh, that's funny.
Full ambush interview too. They're just gonna go into a building asking these questions about what happened with the Hoover Dam back in the day.
Could I get an EST trench coat for that? Like,
Yes.
You know,
Oh, it has
and then
to.
a fedora or like whatever.
Oh,
It'll
easily.
say
little
press.
tape recorder. Yeah.
Yeah.
We need all
The
of
little
that.
I've got
piece
new
of paper.
I've got new microphone flags for
Did you
us.
get it?
Yeah, I'm just waiting for the decals. They're on their way.
The decals. Decals.
Yeah.
Decals are different things.
Ducky
tomato.
texting saying, "What's the deal with the golf tournament? I want to make sure I'm booked early." I will explain stuff tomorrow on the Hangout when it comes to the golf tournament.
Oh, we're ready to unveil some details?
I'll talk about it in that meeting today first.
I'm looking
I don't
forward
want to
to it.
talk about it to everyone else and then be like,
Spill the beans,
surprise,
Matthew,
guys, I
spill the
said this on the
beans.
show. So we have our staff meeting today. The golf tournament is on the agenda. And then I will take some time tomorrow to explain what's happening when it comes to the golf
Very
tournament. So stay
thorough.
tuned. That's coming tomorrow on the Hangout,
Yeah.
straight up.
All right.
And it's not going to be broadcast silently today.
I still don't know. Like, I
find this
I will
bizarre.
have to say, they brought it up as the morning show and said the idea of should we do it or like maybe we should do it.
No.
And why? Like, I don't hate it. It doesn't take much to set up.
What are they going to get out of it from us?
That's the weird part. I want to see if anyone will watch.
What
this,
if we're
but-
eating snacks?
So they don't hear
don't-
anything.
they
They
don't
just
need to see
they
us
just
eating
watch
snacks.
us eating something.
Fine, whatever.
Just have some copyright-free music in the back too.
No, I want full
nothing.
silence.
Just full silence.
I want full silence on this. Like just straight up an awkward camera shot of us doing our meeting. And I will see if anyone would pay attention to just us in silence having a conversation about EST.
Oh, you got to zoom in on the lips to see what.
No,
They're saying
none of
just-
that. No, no
No.
one gets a chance. Like no one's gonna do any of those things. I don't want anyone trying to pick up on what we're talking about or anything. Like we've given some topics out. I know
Very
Dusty's talking about some,
secretive.
but it's just straight up. You could just watch us do this meeting, but there's not. I don't want any of our sheets to be shown that clearly.
I
don't
take
want.
notes.
I don't want people being able to zoom in and see some things. I don't want them to be able to read our lips. Like while we're doing it, we're all gonna have to cover our mouths.
Yeah.
Well, send Eric get a real like CCTV camera to make it even more grainy.
Well, I think we can make it black and white.
Yeah, that would be perfect.
Nice.
And then somehow like make it the lowest quality you can, just like
Can
any
we do that?
CCTV.
I don't have my
camera.
glasses right now.
No, I can't.
I was trying to. Well, I think I could play with the settings here, and I just.
Are
I
you
don't.
going to try to mess it up?
I was going to, but I can't see. Like, I have decent eyesight, but for this small stuff on our screen, I need better eyesight.
This is a pretty small monitor too. Like
And
And it is like 6 feet away, 7 feet away.
it's a ways
I don't
away.
know if any of that's going to be helpful to me.
Don't break
So-
stuff.
Don't break it. Yeah, you can't make it black and white. I've played with it.
Well, but I was seeing if I can make it like grainy or something.
I think so. Yeah, you can add.
There's got to
grain
be
to it.
something.
There must be like a filter on this.
Yeah, I don't know if we need to.
Not right now.
No, but to actually air our meeting.
Oh, right.
Surveyor Brett, the entire meeting is like a MLB mound visit, covering mouths. Haha. Exactly.
much.
Or like coaches on the sidelines, like or NFL coaches, and they got their sheet in front of them, and it's just a full, yeah. So you can't read my lips.
The rookie says colored squiggly lines like the French channel porn back in 1989. Exactly. We all tried to watch it.
I think you're stuck. You guys are mostly stuck listening to me today, too.
How many things do you have to bring up?
Do you want to know? Okay,
I have
I've
like
got the
one
list.
thing.
I've got a list. I sent it to Dusty.
I
Dusty
can't
always
remember
asks
what
me-
it is.
Dusty always asks me before a meeting, what do you have to bring up? And I was nothing. And then when the meeting starts, I write like 2 things down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I had a couple more things I needed to add.
Wow.
What was the other thing I had to
my
add on
God.
this? There's 8 at least right now.
Are any of
There
them
might be 9 or
fun?
10. Define fun.
Just in general.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them
Are
of the
fun?
8. I would say.
Oh, great. I'm looking forward to it.
I'd go with that.
Yeah.
What is the one I missed?
What's a Debbie Downer in all of that?
Well, we got to wash our dishes.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
You don't know something? I'll
yeah,
bring it up
no.
now. I'm okay. I'll say it later. The sink, people, I know it's us. People leave dishes in the
Yeah.
sink and they don't wash them.
it's the other people.
No, it's us.
It's us?
I know there's some stuff that comes from in here.
I wash
that go
everything.
there and they don't get washed. And I've washed some of them, and I was we need to when we're using a plate or we're using a cup, even if you leave it there, at least by the next day, just quickly wash it and put it in
I'm
the drying rack.
suspicious of
I'm
2
not
people.
gonna say you have to take the stuff from the drying rack and put it away. That's fine. Just let
Trev.
it sitting there.
It's Trev.
But just wash.
Wow,
I don't know
or
how
is
full
it
it
you?
is.
I
don't
use
know how full
plastic
it is.
forks.
You do use plastic.
Yeah.
Why do you
And
use
then
I brought cutlery.
That's what I said.
I'm
to him.
lazy, so I don't
So
have to
it's
wash
you.
it. So I don't have to wash it.
Kids.
See, I skip a step. Yeah, I was gonna vacuum later today too. EST chores. That could also be another broadcast.
no,
Put a
it's-
GoPro on somebody.
Oh, my
vacuum.
God. I'm with you. Thank you.
That's
That
the
is
least
a good
fun
one.
thing
Yeah,
that I
man.
have. But,
I
if
agree
we
with
use
you.
anything of that, like we should wash
Clean it.
like
Yeah.
and just again put in the drying rack.
don't be a jerk.
and that's it.
Yeah.
that's the bad thing.
Just good etiquette.
Everything else I can't mention on right now.
Okay.
I got to remember what the other one was though.
Golf tournament's going to be great.
That's gonna bother me now.
What?
That I had one more thing to add to the list that came up last night to me, and I didn't mark it down.
It'll come
email.
back to you at the most obscure time of day today.
Do you know when it will?
Right
Literally as
after.
we're about
Just
to
after
walk
the
in.
meeting.
No, like right as it's about to end, and you guys will all be ready to go, and I'll be like, nah, one more thing. I'll be that guy today.
I had one thing that I was going to bring up, but I can't even remember it. So it might come back to me. I hope it does. It's not very important. I don't think.
Hey, that's always good for us.
Yeah.
Having things like, yeah, it might be important, but maybe it isn't.
Maybe it's not.
And it probably is.
But it isn't.
that's what the other thing was.
Did you remember? See?
Yeah.
This exercise helps.
Right?
figured
You
it
just
out.
gotta, yeah.
I just got to mark it down so I don't forget.
No, good
Oh,
call.
that's the worst when you forget something and then you try to remember it, and then you just wake up in like the middle of the night and you're just like, there it is.
Yeah.
And then you go to bed and you forget it again when you wake up.
Yeah. But you make a note of it like Matthew just did and you remember.
Yeah. But if you wake up in the middle of the night, you don't want
Well,
to get
yeah,
up
then you
and-
want to go back to
Yeah,
bed.
yeah.
You just grab your phone. And
Grab your phone.
No, I
quickly
guess
enter
so.
it. Always write things down if you can.
Like never
I don't
send
do
an
that.
angry text to someone. Like, you know those really long ones or like an email letter? Sit on it for a day and then come back to it and revise.
The other key is never put the address in the to while you're writing the email.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to accidentally click send.
Right.
Wait till it's done.
Yep.
Wait till you proofread it.
Save it as a
Wait till
draft.
you're finally ready to go. Then you put it in.
That's right.
Wow. I'm learning
Little
things here.
things.
Oh, I've
Little
had
things.
some nasty emails I've had to send at times, or pretty blunt emails that I've had to send people, and you want to make sure sometimes it's worded properly. Mm-hmm. It's always great when you get to go start an email with, as per my last email. Those are always fun.
Not
ones.
at all passive aggressive.
No, there isn't. But those are the ones where you get like, I think that was maybe when I always got upset, where dealing with other departments and you've clearly outlined something and then they forget about it or don't recognize it or something, and you have to point it out like, I've told you this.
Yeah. Jason Leduc says, note to self, place a notepad on bedside table.
You don't know when $1 million idea is going to come up either.
Well, there's a thing of always just having something around you to write something down, especially in radio or something. You never know when a topic for like the FM people and stuff that would come up that would be like, that's a great topic.
Yeah.
And you got to mark it down. But that's where the phone is great because you could
You always
quickly
got it.
mark it down or something. So
Big Slab Nasty via the Paris Jewelers inbox 780-218-9999. Big Slab Nasty says there isn't enough Americana in this city to get Tommy amped up for this meeting. I'm actually looking forward. I like our meetings.
Oh, they're the best.
They're-
We just
well,
hang
I
out.
wouldn't go that far, but I
Well,
enjoy
I like
them.
them. I like them. I
Are
don't
they
know.
the best though?
The best? You can't
just said
spell.
they were the
You
best.
can't spell
But
best without
meetings-wise-
EST.
Oh, I like that. That's very good.
that's actually really good.
That is good.
Yeah, I kind of took that from from Eric while they were talking about Mr. Beast. I
Yes.
was like, well, you can't spell Mr. Beast without EST.
How do you not know who Mr. Beast
I
is?
don't know who Mr.
Come
Beast
on.
is. Legit. I looked on Monday when Dusty was mocking me for not knowing Mr. Beast.
What?
April Fools.
I went to his channel and I was very impressed.
It's not worth full mocking, but you don't know who Mr. Like,
No
it never
idea.
came up who Mr.
Legit
Beast was.
zero
too.
idea until Monday.
I find that fascinating.
I've heard Mr. Beast references, but I didn't know what they meant.
I was like, good for you. Don't go that far. That you were able to go that long without knowing who like the top YouTuber is.
Don't care.
And that's why I'm like, good for you.
Thank you.
Like a legit good for you, not a unusual Iwanyk, sarcastic
like
good for
he
you.
does good things though, right? Like
So-
he helps, does charity stuff.
Yeah, but for some reason he still gets a lot of hate, and I don't know why.
because there's dumb people out there that no matter how good of a thing or how good your intentions are, they still just don't like you. You know that. We all know that. It's just how it is, especially when you have an audience like he has. Like his videos
massive.
get like hundreds of millions of views.
Yeah.
Let's take a look what his
Of,
last
of course,
video was.
people are gonna hate on him. Just that's the nature of it, unfortunately.
Well, and what he does too, because like the SEO or whatever, YouTube Trev told me this.
Yeah.
He I think he changes his thumbnails after like certain hours of the day. So he
Oh.
has like 5 different thumbnails for the same video, which helps apparently.
Really? Oh,
His last video was 4 days ago. Care to guess how many views?
158 million.
127.
Last 77 million.
Oh, that's still pretty damn good.
Oh, only
this guy's-
77?
This guy's
It's-
making huge bank on his whatever he's doing.
In the last, let's say 6 months. Let's see if I can find his largest video in the last 6 months.
Probably 500.
No, not even
Not even
close.
close?
265.
This isn't a Dua Lipa music video here, Zacticum.
No, it's better.
He's got 248
Better.
million YouTube subscribers.
Damn.
We've got
7,450.
7,457.
You know,
We're on our way.
Yeah, let's
We're
go.
on our way. We're closing in,
Let's
Mr.
go.
Beast.
I just
You
came up
pay
with
attention.
an idea.
What?
I'm gonna say it right here instead of waiting for the meeting.
Okay.
Okay, you put a tracker on how far EST is from Mr. Beast in subscribers. That would be very
Do you know
useful.
how wild that, like, if you did a bar graph,
Brilliant, Zach.
if you did a
Yeah,
bar
yeah,
graph,
right?
like, do you know how small
I know,
our
I'm
thing
pulling
would
my
be
knee.
No
compared to that?
dent. No dent. I'm just happy we have 7,000 now. We're almost at 7,500.
Wow.
That's
See,
great.
now I'm at, like, I'm not celebrating anything until we're at 10 now.
Let's go. 10.
That's my thing where it's
That's
Like,
a big-
share, subscribe, thumbs up.
it's what did I say Mr. Beast was at?
254 million.
248 million.
Yeah, something like that.
Well, it is. It's I
We'll
just looked
take
it up.
one of those million.
248
Oh,
million.
that would be insane.
Yeah, no big deal.
We are at 0.003% of his subscribers.
So you're saying
gotta start
there's
somewhere.
a chance.
It's not zero.
All right.
It's not zero.
It's not zero.
We're clawing our way. And the day that we're at 0.01%, that's going to feel good. And then one day it's going
Okay.
to be 0.1.
okay.
And then we'll see if we can keep going. And then we'll have Shanks and we'll ruin this all and we'll be done.
I love how we're already creating our demise by investing in the Shanks building, turning it into an EST experience. But I'm also tantalized by the idea of what it could be.
Do you want to know something? Because it will be a great way to go out. It will be a wonderful way
But
for
I don't
all of
want
us
to go
all
out. I want this
Not-
to live on and us to sell it for millions of dollars.
No, because then there's other things we could do. Well, like we could do the tell-all books of what really happened with EST.
Oh, yeah.
We could do a documentary on the
But there will be no
rise and like I've already
ESPN
got
by
it.
then.
The rise and fall of EST, the documentary.
The EST
We could
Last
sell it.
Stand.
Behind the music.
Behind the music,
Yeah,
all of
Last
that, and we'll
Stand.
sell that, and we can still do those type of things. But I don't know. Do you just keep going and let this go on forever, ever?
Yeah.
Or do you go out in a blaze of glory? I don't mind that.
I like it being. I would love to see EST continue to be a viable, strong entity in this market and beyond when I die. That's grim, but I really feel that way. Thank you. Thank
The
you,
golf
Zach.
clap.
Yeah.
So just
That's
we'll,
beautiful.
So we'll just have you do some renovations on Shanks and
Oh, if that happened, that would be amazing. Like we'd have a couple tracks. Maybe we'd like merge with One Putt or have a tie-in with them. Obviously, the ranch would be involved with Murray.
see you're already on board. It's
Yeah,
happening.
I'm not saying I'm against it. I don't want it to be the demise. I want it to be the.
There's no way we could
fruitful
do
growth.
Shanks and it won't be the demise of us. I will say that right now.
Is that building viable?
It'll be the
No.
rebirth.
It is not for us. With who we are, it is not viable.
Just run all the shows from there,
Too
right?
much temptation in that building.
Yes. Especially if we add.
You've never been, have you?
Nope.
He went
You
to
never experienced
one
it.
putt virtual golf. If we added them there,
Right.
We had to look. If we had an F1 sim, if we had a bowling alley, if we brought back the mini,
None
mini
of us
golf
would
spot,
do our shows.
if we had the Cool Bet Sports Betting Lounge,
Oh my
we're
God.
not doing our shows.
Nobody's
Yeah.
doing work there. You got to get Rashad with the golf sim.
No, his is.
I need to
I
see
admire
pictures.
his.
I need to see
He
pictures.
he showed me videos in the press box on Saturday. It's nice.
Is he doing it all himself?
Yes, and that's
he
a
a
problem.
handy guy?
Not really.
Okay, so
But it,
like,
it looks good. And I was like, "Are you doing? Is this your basement?" You didn't have last time I was there. It didn't really look like you had a ton of room.
It's
He's like, "No,
garage.
there's the garage." And I'm like, "Well, where can you like fold it up and put your cars in?" He goes, "Oh no, the cars aren't going in the garage." I'm like, "All right." Although I am jealous of him, and then he even said too, like when you do sim golf, whether it's TrackMan or the other programs, you have to go.
TrackMan technology, by the way, best. It's what they have at one point.
Phenomenal. And so like when you have to take your shot, you're supposed to like pick the club you're using and so it lines up and then also you're like where you're aiming and stuff like that, you have to adjust it. So Shagar's like, so I got this thing and basically you use your club as the mouse and you like there's arrows and then there's click function and I'm like, oh my God, dude. Like when he goes and nerds out on something, he nerds out to the max. And I'm jealous. I'm not gonna lie. I'm jealous of Shagar that he has a simulator in his garage now.
So with the simulation, then you have to pick like on the screen or whatever what golf club you're using.
Well, it
so
gives you a suggestion, but like,
Well, but like if it's telling me as a driver, but I'm like, screw that, I'm only using a 6-iron to get
Yeah.
off the tee for whatever reason. You change it for the 6-iron so then it could judge based off of
Your
Okay,
six
well, like
iron,
my
yeah.
swing's going to be different with a 6 iron
Yeah.
than a driver.
Yeah.
So it's got to judge based off of that, and then the manufacturing of a 6 iron is way different than the manufacturing of a driver. So it's got to take that into account. So you have to tell what club you're doing, and then you have to move it for your line.
Yeah.
Because you can only do so much. It wants it a straight shot.
You basically want to hit the middle of the screen.
like the
Okay.
technology is trying to get a straight
Yeah.
shot. But
Yeah.
if you're sitting there going, well, I want to aim left though, it won't work. You want to get as accurate as possible, so you got to adjust it to aim a little left,
Yeah,
and then you
exactly.
go straight.
Does
So-
it have like fake wind? Like,
Yeah.
is it like,
Yeah.
oh,
Oh, yeah.
wind's going 14
and it'll read
kilometers this way?
the spin on your balls. Like if you want to hit a fade or a draw,
Oh,
like
what?
it can pick up on that. Yeah.
That's bougie.
Or-
That's yeah.
Well, it's science, but yeah,
I don't know. It seemed like
sure. We could call it bougie today if you'd like.
well, that's nice.
It's
Like
science.
it is.
We'll call it bougie.
It is bougie.
Yeah. Okay.
It's bougie science.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
But yeah.
That's my
I
dream
like
for when I get a house.
There are.
It's straight up like I need a
Yeah.
basement that has enough of a ceiling
You need
that I
10-foot
could
ceiling.
one day install a golf simulator in there, and I will do it fully. Like I will save up enough to like do the full legit one,
Yep.
make it the full man cave. That like even if you're just gonna sit and watch a game, you
Yep.
could do that, but fully set up because I want that.
My
I love
brother's
golf too
buddy
much.
is a home builder, and he did that in his new place, and apparently it's the bee's knees.
The bee's knees.
That means
I haven't
like
heard-
really fancy. It's like an
Yes.
old person saying, even older than me.
I know what bees knees
Oh,
is.
okay.
Jeepers.
Let's get to a couple texts. Yeah, it's bougie.
780-218-9999. This is the EST Hangout presented by White Claw, Matt Iwanyk, Zacticum, and Tom Gazzola with you
All
here.
right. Can I? Okay. Mr. Beast also has channels for different languages and has voice actors for those languages. That's pretty neat, actually. That's when you know you're big time.
We should do that.
yeah.
EST in Spanish. And somebody's just voicing over what Dusty and Eric are saying. We'll start with just the morning show.
Oh, that'd be amazing. Corey says, I'm a YouTube junkie. I don't have any idea who Mr. Beast is. Sunny says, Tommy, never heard of him until Monday as well. Ha! Thank you, Sunny D. And then, Chris from Fort Max says, are you guys actually serious about the Shanks building? That would be epic if you guys were doing that.
What I will say on Shanks building, I would say 70-30 not serious.
Oh, so 30%
There,
serious.
I can't say I'm not
It is
intrigued by this.
tantalizing.
I am not going to sit here and say that I couldn't see some sort of business model that could be done with it. I though think it's very unlikely.
Yeah.
But when we talk about it, like some of the ideas actually aren't bad. And when somebody like Murray, who's a businessman, is
businessman.
legit saying like, no, guys, this actually could potentially work, and you kind of go, huh. And also, I loved Shanks, and I would love to bring it back.
I enjoyed Shanks.
It was the best.
What was its downfall? Too big, not upgraded enough. Bad part, like
I think it is
wrong
just too
area
big.
of the
No,
city.
I think it was fine in the area of the city because there's a lot of houses right there.
Huge.
So it's like,
yeah,
and
it's
legit,
on a corridor.
it was always busy on UFC night. It was packed UFC
Yeah.
nights. But the rest of the time where it was full for what a sports bar would be full with.
Yeah.
It was cavernous in there though.
Yes.
So it looks empty.
yeah.
And I'm assuming just those extra costs for all that probably really did hurt it.
Yeah.
It was 2019 we figured out before COVID. So it wasn't COVID that took it out.
It was already-
if it was if it was still going in COVID, it was definitely then that was going to take it down.
Yeah.
I think maybe some better upkeep could have been done for some of those things. Like
Yeah.
the bowling alley could have at times been fixed a little better. The putting green, like the surface was pretty worn out.
Yeah.
But the idea to be able to be like Shanks is back, it was such a wonderful place. And as Lucas said, also like for him, like I think that's where he took Chelsea. He's like it is a perfect first date site too, because there's so many things to do
Lots
when you're
of
there.
things to do,
You can
yeah.
go just sit and have a drink, but then also, hey, do you want to go play some pool?
Are you hungry?
All of that. So
They had good wings. I really like the wings there.
It sounds like a magical place.
it was for a sports bar. It really was.
It had an upstairs lounge area,
which
right?
really never was used much. I think I
No.
went up there once.
Yeah.
They had a room right when you walked in on the side that could be used for banquets.
Yeah.
They had a massive screen. They had the trivia game. They had the arcade games in the
Arcades.
back.
Yeah. It had a
This place
lot.
sounds huge.
It is
It was
massive.
massive. It was massive.
Yeah. It had everything.
So-
Like it was
It
like
was way too big. It was way too
Yeah.
big. Like I don't know what would compare to it. Like not even the ice house
like-
is 3 stories. It doesn't compare to the size, I don't believe, of the Shanks.
It's like Rec Room
Yeah,
before
it's
there
like-
was Rec
yeah.
Room.
Okay, that's kind of what I thought.
Yeah.
'Cause pool
But with
tables,
less.
bowling,
Yeah.
arcade.
To a degree
yeah.
with less.
With less, yeah.
So it was more just seats and
Yeah.
tables.
Yes. Yes. Rec room, there's different levels. You can do acts.
There's a lot more games.
A lot more games.
All of it.
Yeah.
So it was, so yeah, like I stand by, I would say to me when I talk about it, it's 70-30. There's a part of me that does legitimately be like, this would be, we build something here and maybe 8-9 years from now, we sit there and be like, is that a way we can grow this a little bit more?
Well, I think
I'm not going to say never.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I've thought about this. I'm like, how would we make the upstairs would be the studios, overlooking
Upstairs would be full offices.
office studios,
It'd be Studio 2.
Studio 2.
I would have studios downstairs for stuff that we
Hell yeah.
do. Right?
Yeah.
The golf sims would still be like, I would have a couple golf sims, but I'd make one an
Couple golf
F1 sim.
F1
Because I
sim
think
would
there's
be
3
great.
bays.
You still have arcades.
It's stuff that
I think the the putt can go.
No,
You like the putt-putt?
Yeah, the thing it needs is a patio.
Yeah, it does.
Needed a patio.
Patio would be great.
That's what it needed.
That'd be tricky because it's like one of those buildings from the 90s. It's all self-contained, doesn't have like a lot of windows and
Dave,
stuff.
the manager of Shanks, always talked about getting rid of the arcade and building the patio there, and then moving the arcade somewhere else.
There's an idea.
So, like, yes, I've actually thought about it, as weirdly as that is, about doing this.
Yeah.
But I also understand that it's more likely never going to happen.
I know. Dare to dream, Arnold. Dare to dream.
So if you won
Dream
the
as if
lottery,
you live forever.
you
How
won the
much of a
lottery.
lot are we talking here?
5 million or something. Like,
No, it's
No,
not.
no,
5
no.
million's not enough.
not even close. Not
$5
even
million can even buy you a house these days. You know,
Yeah.
like I win the Powerball in the States. That's $900 some million.
Oh, then 100.
That's the first thing you're doing.
Easily, I'm buying that. Easily, I'm renovating
Shanks, an EST experience.
Perfect. There we go. I just love hearing the idea of that because that would just be.
It's just
Like
so
phenomenal.
tantalizing.
that. Spency 5 cents. You had a few awesome Christmas parties there.
Yeah, I
Draft
had one
days,
there.
UFCs. They even have bathroom attendant on busy nights. I've never saw that one. But like Christmas parties were booked there for companies. Like they would book from November through January of just Christmas parties because there was a lot you can do. You can bring your employees
We
out.
did
There
it
was a lot.
at OEG. We
Did you?
Rexall Sports, yeah, before it
Like, there
became
was just so much you could
cold
do
and
there.
faceless.
And they could house so many different companies at the exact same time because it was so massive. As much
It's a dream.
So many texts coming in about this right now.
Because it was such a beautiful place.
Hey guys, it's Rob. I had my stag from my first marriage there. It was epic.
Yes.
Here's another one. Only ever went to the 2 Shanks in Calgary, but they were pretty badass. I agree. It was too big though. And then another one
I think
says
one of the Calgarys is closed, but one is still
one's
open.
still kicking.
I think so.
Damn. Dave says Shanks was the goat of Edmonton sports bars. Would be a dream come true if you guys got it. Haha, Dave. Dare to dream.
People like Zach and Trev never getting to experience
Never
Shanks.
experienced Shanks.
To bring it back for those people. And then do you know what we do after that, Tommy? If we do Shanks and we
What?
get it
Then
done
what?
right and it's working,
Then what?
the number one other place that I always hear in the city, that imagine if it came back for one night.
Bullwinkles.
Nope. Ezzy's.
Oh! Hey, really quickly. Yes. I had great times
If we
at
actually succeed with Shanks, we got to then bring back Ezzy's.
Ezzy's, an EST experience. Apparently, someone went in there a few years ago.
Jason, our
contract
listener.
work. Was that it?
Jason
said
and Andrew.
that-
Jason said it
Yeah,
to us, I
and
believe.
said that nothing,
It's
like there
been
was like
touched.
cups.
It's all still
dust,
there.
and yeah. So plug and play.
If we survive the Shanks experience,
Yes.
EST will then bring back Ezzy's. And it'll be a bunch of 40 and 50-year-olds reliving their youth.
Yeah.
And that's will be what sings
Be
us.
like, I used to smoke cigarettes in here.
That's going to wrap it up for the EST Hangout for this Wednesday. Oil Stream pregame show, 6 o'clock, Tommy. Hudson's West Edmonton Mall getting you set for Oilers and Stars. They'll also have the post-game show for you. We got the Lock Shop coming up next with Dusty and Huss. They will have your next chance to qualify for the EST Flyaway presented by FlyYEG and the LVCVA. And then Tommy and Dusty are back also at noon with the Oil Stream as they'll fully preview Oilers and Stars. On behalf of Zacticum, YouTube Trev, Tom Gazzola, Matt Iwanyk. Thanks for tuning into the EST Hangout live right here on EdmontonSportsTalk.com, iHeart Radio, on TuneIn, as well as those watching on YouTube. You're going to hear a little Whale and the Wolf for those on the audio stream. For those on YouTube, we'll redirect you over to the Lock Shop. That'll be starting in just a few minutes. Thanks for tuning in.
Let's go.
There you go, right in front of the camera.
First time guest, long time listener, fan of the original draft commissioner.
Welcome to the EST Hangout presented by White Claw Hard Seltzer. The difference is clear. Matt Iwanyk, Tom Gazzola with here. Joining us today,